will have one last chance to punch their ticket. Long grind of the Caneo Oaks season concludes tonight in what is the most important game of 2018. With the Prune Packers making their first ever trip to Sparky Anderson Field, the Oaks will have one last chance to punch their ticket to the CCL playoffs.
Lucas takes one the opposite field deep into the right corner. That's good for extra bases. Spears comes around to score. Lucas rounding second. The throw comes in. He's digging deep for third. The throw is off the bag, and now he has a triple with an RBI, and the Oaks take a 3-2 lead.
Led by UT San Antonio slugger Brian Arias, the Prune Packers have already beaten the Oaks 2 of 3 times this season and are looking for one more to carry them into the playoffs. Hope International hurler Justin Friedman will be tasked with stifling a hot Prune Packers offense and giving the explosive Oaks bats a chance at victory.
Friedman offers the 1-2. Half-hearted swing. Nonetheless, it's called strike 3 at the knees. 2 consecutive strikeouts, give 2 for Friedman on the game.
Cockrell, a high, deep drive to left field, way back, and gone! Chase Cockrell, 2 for 2, 2 home runs, and it is blowout city here in Thousand Oaks, 8-1 Caneo.
It's Oaks versus Packers. It's win or go home baseball, and it's live on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Welcome to Sparky Anderson Field, everybody, for the final conclusion of the 2018 regular season. The Caneo Oaks looking to clinch the postseason here with a win against the Healdsburg Prune Packers. It won't be easy, though. The Oaks have to win today or their season is over. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. I'm joined alongside me, my broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner, our wonderful producer, Sean McKinnon. And boy, is today going to be a good one. 2 very good teams battling it out here in Sparky Anderson Field. One already clinching the playoffs, the other hoping for a win to join them as the number 4 seed. The Caneo Oaks have to win today. The Healdsburg Prune Packers already have locked in their ticket, but it won't be easy. The Oaks have already dropped 2 of 3 against the Prune Packers this season. A month ago, the Oaks lost 11-2 and 11-4 on a Saturday, and they won 8-1 on a Sunday. This is the inaugural game for the Healdsburg Prune Packers here at Sparky Anderson Field. They have never, ever been to Southern California before in our friendly confines here in Thousand Oaks, but they have to get well associated because come tomorrow, they have an early game against the Orange County Riptide, but there's still business to be taken care of today. The Caneo Oaks come in today at 23-15 overall, 16-13 in the CCL. The Prune Packers at 35-9. They are 14-9 in the CCL. It's do or die baseball, and it's on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. I hope everybody's enjoying their Friday afternoon. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, we appreciate you making Oaks Baseball a part of your plans. A little bit of an early start today. We're set to go in about 5 minutes or so. But first, Jordan Brenner, as we bring you in here on the broadcast, one of the big things that have stood out for the Oaks in the last week has been errors in the field. A week ago, they had 4 errors up in San Luis Obispo. They had 5 2 Tuesdays ago. Playing a clean defensive game is going to be important for this team, especially with Justin Friedman on the mound. What do they do today to clean up the field and give their offense an opportunity to put up some runs?
Well, it's a matter of just incredible focus throughout the game. Look, Jonathan, a lot of the biggest baseball games, whether you look at professional baseball, college baseball, all the biggest games are decided by small, detail-oriented plays. And small errors in a game like this, that can be poor game. If he can continue that and the Oaks offense continues to swing hot bats, the Oaks will be in pretty good shape today, and they will be playing tomorrow.
We last saw Justin Friedman 6 days ago in Santa Barbara. He went 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits and 1 run, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts against the Foresters in the Oaks' 9-3 win. He will be pushed back a day to try to give his team an opportunity to win and clinch the 4th seed in the postseason. And that result will be made aware to us in the next 3 hours, so it's going to be a wild ride. We invite you to sit back and strap in because it's going to be a fun finish here to the 2018 regular season. And now it's time for your starting lineups. First, for the Healdsburg Prune Packers, from 1 to 9 on the batting order. Kevin Sandry from the University of the Pacific is playing second base, and he'll lead off. Ben Sanderson's behind him from UCSB out in center field. DHing from UT San Antonio is Brian Arias, cleaning up for the Healdsburg Prune Packers and playing right field from left. Jordan McFarland's at first. Will Pickett's at second. Sam Shakin at short. Brandon Lewis at third. Behind the dish will be Bryce Vitt. And on the mound, as we mentioned, is the Oaks. One of the Oaks aces, I guess, now you can deem, along with Dylan Francis, Justin Freeman from Hope International University by way of George Washington Ventura College and the University of San Diego. Final game here of the regular season between the Oaks and the Prune Packers. The Prune Packers aren't a team the Oaks have played consistently. You know, they've only played them 3 times, one day in a doubleheader, so it's not like you have a good feel for your opponent. What do the Oaks do here against a new team taking the stage here in Spark-Anderson Field?
Well, I think you have to treat this like any other ordinary game. Look, for the Oaks, as far as they're concerned, they're already in the playoffs. If they win out, they're going to go home with rings and they're going to win a championship. Everything is in the Oaks' hand. They don't have to look at this San Luis Obispo result. None of that matters. All they have to do is focus on the task at hand and show up and play the game that they've been playing their whole lives. They'll be in good shape if they can do that.
We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. When we come back, it's first pitch time. Justin Freeman will be on the mound. He'll face off against Kevin Sandry, and we'll be off to the races here for the final game of the 2018 regular season. You're watching Oaks Baseball on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We'll be right back for the ball game.
Long grind of the Caneo Oaks season concludes tonight in what is the most important game of 2018. With the Prune Packers making the first ever trip to Sparky Anderson Field, the Oaks will have one last chance to punch their ticket to the CCL playoffs.
Lucas takes one the opposite field deep into the right corner. That's good for extra bases. Spears comes around to score. Lucas rounding second. The throw comes in. He's digging deep for third. The throw is off the bag, and now he has a triple with an RBI, and the Oaks take a 3-2 lead.
Led by UT San Antonio slugger Brian Arias, the Prune Packers have already beaten the Oaks 2 of 3 times this season and are looking for one more to carry them into the playoffs. Hope International hurler Justin Friedman will be tasked with stifling the hot Prune Packers offense and giving the explosive Oaks bats a chance at victory.
Friedman offers the 1-2. Half-hearted swing. Nonetheless, it's called strike 3 at the knees. 2 consecutive strikeouts give 2 for Friedman on the game.
Cockrell, a high, deep drive to left field, way back, and gone! Chase Cockrell, 2 for 2, 2 home runs, and it is blowout city here in Thousand Oaks, 8-1 Caneo.
It's Oaks versus Packers. It's win or go home baseball, and it's live on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
Justin Friedman on the mound right now for the Oaks. He was stellar last Saturday. 1 run, 2 hitting the Santa Barbara Foresters through 7, and he'll be tasked with keeping his Caneo Oaks team in the game and punching their ticket to the postseason. Welcome back, everybody. Alongside me, Jordan Brenner, our producer on hand, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. Delighted to be with you on a lovely Friday evening from Thousand Oaks, California. We gave you the starting lineups on the first half of the pregame show, but we'll reiterate the first 3 batters for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. From the University of Pacific, it'll be Kevin Sandry leading off. Behind him from UCSB, Ben Sanderson, and Brian Arias from University of Texas San Antonio due up in the 3rd spot. Justin Friedman on the mound for the Oaks, and boy, has he been stellar as of late. This will be his 6th start in 7 appearances. He has a 4-1 record, which leads the team, and a 3.94 ERA in 32 innings pitched. He has 24 strikeouts to only 7 walks. He looks good out there right now in his warm-up pitches. The last throw over to second has been made, and we're ready for the final regular season of CCL baseball to take place. Kevin Sandry absolutely exploded this season. In 122 plate appearances, he's batting .444 with 23 RBIs. That's good for 3rd on the team. The Prune Packers are in their burnt red, tops with white letters and numbers on the front and white numbers on the back with gray pants. Friedman comes set, kicks and fires the first pitch, called a strike on the inside corner, and we're off. 5:04 first pitch time, temperature at 82 degrees, wind blowing very inconsistently out to right field. The 0-1 pitch bounces in the dirt. The Oaks are in their navy blues today with white numbers on the back, white letters on the front, outlined by baby blue with white pants. Some of the Oaks are wearing knee-high stirrups as well. The 1-1 offering to the Pacific Tiger glides in there for strike 2. Justin Friedman has had very good starts against CCL opponents. His first Oaks start was actually a month ago in Healdsburg, the 1-2 offering. Bounces in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you're going to see the fastball, curveball, and changeup from Justin Friedman today. What made his start so effective against Santa Barbara was his ability to throw that curveball for a strike and a ball down low, and then use the fastball to balance that out.
2-2 jams him. Hopper over to second. Pickett's over to his left. Fires it to McFarland for out number 1 here. In game number 40 of the Caneo Oaks season, Kevin Sandry's retired for out number 1. The last time the Oaks had Friedman on the mound against these Prune Packers was up in Healdsburg back on June 23rd. He went 4 2/3 innings, and he had a rough start. He gave up 8 hits, 6 runs. All were earned, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, but he's seen a new stat line since then for the Oaks. The first pitch to the lefty, Sanderson, is taken outside for ball 1. And in that game, it was so hot that Friedman actually had to change his curveball to his slider because he couldn't throw the curveball effectively because his hands were so sweaty. The 1-0 offering. Another fastball up and away for ball 2.
Last time we saw Friedman, 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 strikeouts against perhaps the best lineup in summer collegiate play this summer all over the country.
A 2-0 offering is an 88-mile-an-hour heater popped out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Hope everybody's enjoying their Friday evening. No matter how you're watching or where you're watching, Jordan, Sean, and I appreciate you making us a part of your plans. Feel free to interact with us in the YouTube live chat, friend or foe of the Oaks. We love to hear what our viewers have to say. 1 away here in the very early going, 2-1 the count. Friedman toes the rubber and comes set. The kick in the fire. Fastball upstairs, and it seems like he's pitching around Sanderson right now. He needs to settle in, I think, and just look for the strike zone. The defense is really good, and just knowing that, I think, should put him in a position where he can throw strikes. The 3-1 waved at a miss for strike 2, and now Ben Sanderson has a full count.
And we've seen that from Oaks starters all summer long, really. These are collegiate guys trying to make a career for themselves. They're not going to be consistent every day.
91-mile-an-hour fastball misses low for ball 4. And after a fight, Friedman takes the loss right there, gives up his first walk, and the first base runner of the game comes by way of Ben Sanderson. Brian Arias now, a very dangerous batter, batting .365 with 44 RBIs, which leads the team, will step in here.
It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish. So if Friedman can get through these first 3 frames, he'll be in good shape.
First pitch fouled off the screen for strike 1. Arias was a nuisance against the Oaks. He's played 41 games, which is by far and away the most on this team. He does have 10 home runs, which is second on the team behind Jake McNichols, who's waiting on deck. The Prune Packers were walked off last night in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mason McWhorter for the Riptide broke the 4-4 tie and went yard to win that game. Fastball upstairs to even the count. So the Packers, who have already clinched the playoffs, may have a chip on their shoulder today because they don't want to go into the playoffs with 2 losses to end the season. They have to face the Riptide tomorrow at 12 o'clock. All CCL games will be broadcasted live right here by Jordan and myself. The 1-1 in. Popped up in the shallow center field. Elijah Alexander, not really that shallow, more central. Doesn't have to go very far, though, to get it. He makes the grab for out number 2. Ben Sanderson stays put at first base. 2 away now, and the very dangerous Jacob McNichols is digging in here. He's from Santa Clara University up north, and this guy's stat line is pretty impressive. .303 batting average. He leads the team with 146 plate appearances. He has 46 RBIs, which is second on the team, and he has 14 home runs.
And that's the CCL lead right there. Most home runs for anybody.
First pitch, outside, gets away from Vitt. Advancing the second on the wild pitch is Ben Sanderson. The Oaks have to limit mental mistakes. Wild pitches hurt you. Pass balls hurt you. Errors will hurt you. The last thing you want to do is give the Packers any sort of momentum that makes them believe that the Oaks are down and out of this game. The last thing the Oaks also want to do is find themselves trailing by more than 2 or 3 runs, because that motivation for the Packers could end up being the ending result, I should say. Friedman checks the runner at second, delivers a fastball in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nice pitch there, had McNichols guessing.
And Healdsburg's playing in a different type of ballpark than they usually do. They play the vast majority of their games at home. And at home, there's that very short left field line. It's hard to hit bombs out to left field at Sparky Anderson.
Off speeder drops low, and you're absolutely right. There were a lot of home runs into the front yards of some Healdsburg patrons up there, because the field is, or the fence is only 250 from home plate out and left. The 2-1, big swing and a miss for strike 2.
There's the pitch from Friedman. That's the key pitch today. The fastball upstairs and inside. Almost impossible for righties to barrel that pitch up. And then when you get that pitch up there, the curveball is so effective downstairs and away.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Friedman delivers. Curveball popped up sky high in the infield. A quadrant of Oaks fielders converging, but Vitt makes the catch out of the catcher spot. And the top of the first inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors. And Ben Sanderson left on second base. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll give you the Oaks starting 9 and the field for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. No score on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Back here for the bottom of the first inning. No score. Michael Spears, Brandon Lewis, and Jordan McFarland, the first 3 for the Oaks. Chase Cockrell from Ole Miss, Elijah Alexander from UT Rio Grande Valley, and Sam Shaken from Valparaiso are the 4th, 5th, and 6th batters. Andrew Lucas from CSUN, Bryce Vitt from Sonoma State, and Will Pickett from Cal State Bakersfield. The back 3 for the Oaks. Seamus Lyons on the mound from Santa Rosa Junior College deals the first pitch low to Michael Spears for ball 1. 5-0 record for Lyons with a 4.15 ERA. Spears bunt ones down the first base line. Peters is there. The foot raced. And the tag was applied before Spears could cross the first base bag. And that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning. The field here for you for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. Jacob McNichols in right, Ben Sanderson in center, and Dane Toftelin in left. Cade Peters at first, Kevin Sandry at second, Sam Wesniak at short, Quinton Selma at third, and behind the dish is Cole Brodnansky. As I told you, Seamus Lyons, in his 6th start on the season, he's 5-0 with a 4.15 ERA. The lefty already has an out here, but he will be tasked with facing the ever-dangerous Brandon Lewis. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. Brandon Lewis does lead and will finish with the lead as the batting average leader in the CCL. In league games, he's batting .397. Curveball misses up and away. But on overall, sorry, Jordan, he's batting .372. 32 RBIs, 9 home runs. 2-0 in. High and deep to center field. Sanderson going back to the track, and it's off the wall for extra bases. He mishandles it in center. Lewis over to second, and the Oaks get a 1-out double by Brandon Lewis.
And as good as Brandon Lewis is against any pitching in the CCL, he is just that much better against left-handed pitching. He just mashes the ball, especially hard against lefties. And Seamus Lyons, if he faces Brandon Lewis a few more times, he's in for a tough, tough day.
If it was a little bit hotter, that ball probably would have carried out of here. Everybody in the stands thought off the bat that it was gone, but nonetheless, only a double. Runner on, 1 away, and Jordan McFarland digging in here from Arkansas. Excuse me, he's batting .339 on the season. Takes a first pitch strike on the inside corner. To go along with that batting average, he does have a home run that was a grand slam, 14 RBIs. 17 strikeouts, only 2 walks, though he did join the team late after playing in the College World Series. The 0-1 from the southpaw misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Jordan McFarland is the perfect player to sandwich in between the power of Brandon Lewis and Chase Cockrell in the lineup. McFarland's a guy that gets on base, not just by hitting for power, but also through contact and walks.
The 1-1, slap to third, off the glove of Selma into left field. Rounding third and coming on home is Lewis. The ball is bobbled by Wesniak. The throw will not come in, and the Oaks strike first here in a do-or-die game. It's 1-0 on the RBI single by Jordan McFarland.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about right there. McFarland loves to put the ball in play. He's not going to try and do too much with it. He caught a pitch up. He turned on it, hit it hard to the third baseman. Selma couldn't field it. And that, Caneo's on top. And when they have the lead, they're pretty darn good.
A week ago, they had a 5-0 lead on the Slow Blues, and they ended up losing 13-8. So anything's possible.
Yes, but there's always an exception
Not
for
to
everything.
negate what you just said, but Chase Cockrell takes one very high into right field, though not hard enough. McNichols over to his right, makes the catch. McFarland retreats back to first base, and that's out number 2. By the way, Chase Cockrell, the semifinalist for the Golden Spikes Award on the season. Prior to that batting .333. That'll go down just a tad, though, on the pop out to right field. Now Elijah Alexander will step in. How about the turnout here at Sparky Anderson? Pretty good fan base for all intents and purposes.
One of our best of the year.
And it's going to be popping for the playoffs, no matter if the Oaks are in it or not, starting tomorrow. Elijah Alexander steps in, drills the first pitch down the first base line, but just foul. The UTRGV product is very good against lefties. We saw him last week against the lefty Jackson Wolf, who had a 1.08 ERA coming into the game against the Oaks. He was on the Foresters, and Alexander had 2 big hits off of him.
Yeah, left-handed hitters, they either struggle against left-handed pitching or it helps them stay in the batter's box just a bit longer and look at the opposite field, and that's exactly what Alexander does.
Takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-2 to him. He's batting .324 on the season. 20 strikeouts, 8 walks, 15 RBIs, and 3 big slams. McFarland takes a step-and-a-half lead off of first. No balls, 2 strikes, 1-0 score with 2 outs. Lyons toes the rubber, rocks and fires. A fastball, cut back foul. And the count remained, no balls and 2 strikes.
And Elijah was launching them in batting practice today. And they were long even for Elijah's standard. So you never know what that means, but it could mean that he's locked in and ready to connect for a big one today.
With the exception of the Chase Illick home run in the prospect game, Alexander is the longest home run we've seen this season. Runner goes, pitches called, strike 3 on the inside corner. A 72-mile-an-hour curveball by Seamus Lyons absolutely freezes Alexander, and that's out number 3. The Oaks do strike for 1, though, on 2 hits, no errors, and McFarland left on first base. We're through 1, Oaks up 1-0 on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The Cal Berkeley Bear, Quinton Selma, will lead things off here in the top of the second inning. Welcome back, everybody. Jordan Brenner, myself, Jonathan Rifkin. Oaks versus Prune Packers on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Oaks up 1-0. An RBI single by Jordan McFarland. Justin Friedman, fastball taken to left field. Under it, though, is Andrew Lucas. One pitch, one out here in the second inning. Selma was really good against the Oaks in the series a month ago. And he hasn't slowed down too much, still batting at a .324 stint, though that will go after that fly out. But that'll bring up Dane Toftalind, and he's had recent success. On Monday, he came in as a pinch hitter and hit a 2-run walk-off against the Slow Blues to avoid a sweep. That was one of the most incredible videos I've seen. He's still batting .304 on the season. Takes a off-speeder at the knees for strike one. 19 RBIs, 3 home runs, 134 plate appearances, and 115 at-bats. 0-1, curveball, foul tipped off for strike two. And how important for Friedman to get ahead in the counts here, Jordan?
It's everything for Friedman. He's not a guy who's going to try and overpower you with the fastball, but he has to change his speeds. He has to get ahead in counts so he can mess around a little bit with 2 strikes and ultimately get soft contact and outs.
Fastball just missing on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the Indiana State Sycamore. One of a few, Andrew Wilson on the Academy Barons, also goes to Indiana State. 1-2, another fastball dug in the dirt, swung on and missed, gets away from Vitt, though he recovers and makes the 2-3 putout to secure out number 2. First strikeout recorded on the game for Friedman. 2 away now for Sam Wesniak.
Yeah, filthy curveball right there from Friedman. Started at the belt, dropped right below the knees and into the dirt. Tofflin, when he realized it was a curveball, it was too late. He was already swinging at nothing. And a beautiful pitch from Friedman.
First pitch in. High fastball cut back into the softball field behind us for strike one. Sam Wesniak, also from Cal, is batting .272 this season. He has 32 RBIs, which is 3rd on the team. Also 9 homers. This team hits a lot of home runs, but partially because their dimensions up in Healdsburg are a tad shorter. 250 down the left. The furthest point in the ballpark is only 342. 0-1. Curveball missing low and away. Ball 1. But it's a lovely little stadium up there at Recreational Park. It opened in 1918. Housed Joe and Dom DiMaggio at times. Another curveball misses for 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's actually very interesting. The stands up there where Jordan and I were fortunate enough to broadcast the game when we were up in Healdsburg. They've been there since 1921. The wood from the Sonoma racetrack, which went bankrupt in 1920, a fastball catches the outside corner for strike 2. The Sonoma racetrack went bankrupt in 1920, and they took the wood from the bankrupt racetrack and built the stands that are still up today up in Recreation Park. Very historical stadium here in the CCL. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Friedman delivers. Fastball lifted high to right field. Under it, though, is Michael Spears. He makes the catch for out number 3, and Friedman gets himself a 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base with 1 strikeout. And an inning and a half is over. Oaks up 1-0. They have Sam Shake and Andrew Lucas and Bryce Vitt when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Valparaiso Crusader, Sam Shakin leads things off here for the Oaks on the season. He's batting .260. 27 strikeouts, 9 walks, 13 RBIs, and 1 homer. That was back a month, almost 2 months ago. Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Amen to that. Back in the first game of the season on June 3rd. The first pitch from Seamus Lyons misses upstairs for ball 1. Lyons has been a product of Santa Rosa his entire life. Went to high school in Santa Rosa, goes to Santa Rosa Junior College, and now he plays for the Prune Packers 10 minutes north of Santa Rosa. Shakin goes sky high, but into shallow left field. Wesniak, Selman, Toftelin, and that ball's fair. It drops in between 2 fielders, and Sam Shakin's on with the bloopiest double you'll ever see. The Oaks have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Sam Wesniak at a shortstop and Dane Toftelin in left field both called for it. They both gave way, and that ball literally dropped an inch to the right of the foul line.
What a crazy play right there. Sam Shakin, he has a knack for getting hits against Healdsburg. He got very, very hot when the Oaks were up north, and he continues to plague the Healdsburg Prune Packers.
That'll bring up Andrew Lucas. He struggled in league play, but on Tuesday he was really good against the SoCal Cubs. He went 3 for 4 with a single, a triple, and a double, 2 RBIs. He did have a strikeout. Launches one to center field. Not very hard, though. Sanderson will get it. We'll see if Shakin tests him. Shakin won't. Sanderson does have a gun as he throws it quickly to Wesniak for out number 1. Sam Shakin still on second base. The Oaks need to be careful on the base paths. They have been thrown out trying to extend to home at times, whether there be a runner on first or second and then a single. It's not Brian Wilson, the Oaks third base coach's fault. Sometimes these guys will run at their own will, and it hasn't paid off sometimes. And the Oaks need to find a way to play smarter on the base paths, I think, today.
Yeah, definitely been prone to base running errors, especially recently. I think they have to be a bit more patient at the plate now. They're doing a little bit too much first pitch hunting so far for my taste.
First pitch to Vitt is taken inside for strike 1. Headed to Sonoma State by way of Pierce Junior College. He's batting .204 on the season. He's had 4 RBIs in limited action. 0-1, right over the heart of the plate down Main Street for strike 2.
2 good curveballs from Lyons. Let's see if he speeds up here with a high heater, or maybe he'll go back to another curveball and really surprise Vitt.
The 0-2. Lifted back foul, and we'll do it again. Warm day here in Thousand Oaks. There was a heat warning from Monday till Thursday. Temperatures ranging between 98 and 105, which is pretty uncommon for this area. You go 20 minutes down south into the valley, and that's pretty common, but out here not so much, but it's been hot. 0-2 offering, waved at and missed on a nasty curveball for strike number 3. First strikeout on the day here for Seamus Lyons. Actually, check that. It's his second strikeout, and that's out number 2 here. The Oaks, throughout the month of June, their biggest Achilles heel was leaving runners on base, especially in scoring position. They were able to break out of that slump a little bit here in July, but they can't afford to leave runners in scoring position, especially runners who got on early in innings. In this case, it was Sam Shakin, now with 2 outs. It'll be Will Pickett's opportunity to try and drive him in. Lyons checks Shakin and offers the first pitch, a curveball in there for strike 1.
Pickett's has been swinging a very, very hot bat for the last 3 weeks, and he came alive at the perfect time for the Conejo Oaks. Right when Tanner Wright went down with an injury, Pickett's was there to pick up the slack and start mashing.
His batting average is up at .227. The lefty checks the runner a couple of times. Rocks and fires the 0-1. Fastball upstairs to even the count to Pickett's. Along with that .227 batting average, she does have a .354 on-base percentage. She is a maestro at manufacturing base runners, whether it be by bloops, sacrifices, walks. He's only struck out 15 times, and he's drawn 12 walks in 96 plate appearances. That's pretty impressive. Shakin dancing on the base paths. Lyons checks him, toes the rubber, and offers the 1-1. Curveball in the dirt for ball 2. Pickett's, this is his second stint with the Oaks, though. He was not with the Oaks this time last year. He cut his season short to work out a little bit before heading back to Pierce, where his father coaches baseball there. But the Pickett's blood runs deep here in the Conejo Oaks. His father, Bill, was the first ever head coach for the Conejo Oaks back in 2006. 2-1. High fastball, cut back against the screen to even the count. And the Healdsburg Prune Packers ended the Oaks season last year in the semifinals of the playoffs. The Oaks ended up losing 8-7 to the Prune Packers, and that ended their run. The Prune Packers thereafter lost to the Orange County Riptide in the championship. That'll be a fun rematch tomorrow, though. OC Riptide and the Healdsburg Prune Packers, because of what happened on last night in the walk-off and also the history between these two teams. 2-2, line to right center field. McNichols on the move. He makes the glove for out number 3. A hard out number 3 puts us through 2. We'll talk more about the playoffs, about the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Conejo Oaks on the other side of the break. Oaks up 1-0. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll be right back. Top of the 3rd inning here. 1-0 score in a tight ball game. We left you off talking about how the Healdsburg Prune Packers ended the Oaks season last year. So there's a lot of history here in the area between today and tomorrow. Of course, the postseason begins tomorrow. We'll be calling it live on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network, regardless of if the Oaks are in it or not, on behalf of the CCL. Cole Brodnansky, by the way, the first batter. Lines went over to short, shaken on the hop, over to first for out number 1. For the 2nd consecutive inning, Friedman retires the leadoff batter by way of 1 pitch. That'll bring up Cade Peters from UC Riverside. But as I mentioned, last year the Healdsburg Prune Packers, in their 2nd ever season in the California Collegiate League, or back in the California Collegiate League, they end the Oaks season on a very incredible ball game, 8-7. As I mentioned, Brandon Lewis was about 4 inches away from knocking one out of the park that would have given the Oaks the win. The first pitch to Peters, taken for strike 1 at the knees. And then the Prune Packers went on to lose to the Orange County Riptide in the championship. This season, the Riptide and the Prune Packers had a game. Actually, they had a series canceled. And then last night, the Riptide walked off. Peters foul tips 1 back against the glove of Bryce Vitt for strike 2. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock, West Coast time. We'll be live at 11:45 for the pregame show. The Riptide and the Prune Packers will get a rematch, but this time in the semifinals. That'll be a very fun and intense game. We hope you join us for that one. And then the second game at 4 o'clock, the O2 offering. Cracked foul. We'll do it again. The 4 o'clock game is against the Santa Barbara Foresters, and whether or not the Oaks win, it's either the Oaks or the Blues. If the Oaks win, they will be playing the Santa Barbara Foresters as the number 4 seed. If the Oaks lose, it will be the Slow Blues. Again, each and every CCL playoff game held right here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. 0-2, called strike 3 on the outside corner. 91 miles an hour of heat. Retires Cade Peters and gives Justin Friedman strikeout number 2 of the game.
Justin Friedman has the same stuff he had against Santa Barbara this past weekend, and that's got to be a scary thought for Healdsburg. He is just touching both corners. The off-speed is working. He's elevating the fastball as well. It's been fantastic.
Kevin Sandry digs in and lines one back off the screen for strike 1. Healdsburg order turns over now. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. Will Pickett's. But of course, the Forces last year negated their playoffs to go to the World Baseball Classic as a fastball drills the back of the head off the helmet of Kevin Sandrian. A hit by a pitch will allow him to take first base. He looks okay. He wasn't even shaken. They'll double check. I'm glad to see that he's okay. You never want to see that, especially in the back of the head, but that's why they have helmets. Those helmets are there to protect from any sort of fastball, even an Aroldis Chapman 100 mile an hour, though you probably won't see it at this level. Nonetheless, though, he's on first base, 2 away, and Ben Sanderson stepping in. He's 0 for 0 with a walk. Friedman delivers, runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw was on time, but it was off, and that'll allow Kevin Sandry over to second base on the first stolen base of the day. Good throw from Vitt, or good timing from Vitt, I should say, but the throw was just to the wrong side of the bag. Shaken did a good job retrieving it, but couldn't apply the tag in time.
Yeah, there was plenty on that throw if it were accurate enough, but it wasn't.
That one, a grounder over to Shaken at short. Sidearms over to first, and that's out number 3 here in the top of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man stranded by way of a hit by pitch. 2.5 have come and gone here from Thousand Oaks, California. The Oaks still up 1-0. They have the top of the order. Spears, Lewis, and McFarland due up when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The Ole Miss Rebel, Michael Spears, leads things off for Caneo here, up 1-0. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out over to first. It was actually a bunt attempt, but he couldn't beat it out. Cade Peters tagged him. New pitcher on the mound, by the way. Seamus Lyons' day is done. It's number 5, Brian Arias. He comes out of the DH spot. Oh no, it's actually not Brian Arias. He's listed as number 5, but he's wearing number 8 on the day. So we'll get you who the new pitcher is here in just a moment. But Seamus Lyons' day is over. Only end up going 2 innings. Nonetheless, fastball up and into Michael Spears makes the count 3 balls and no strikes. We'll get you who the new pitcher is in just a moment. It's Holden Christian. 2.57 ERA in 21 innings pitched. The 3-0. Upstairs, ball 4, and on 4 straight pitches, the reliever walks Michael Spears, and that's dangerous because that gives the Oaks their best base runner on first base. The first walk drawn on the game.
And that's probably what Brodnansky is discussing with Christian right now. Michael Spears is the king of good jumps at first base, and you pair that up with sensational speed, he is a potent base runner.
By the way, Holden Christian is actually a local guy. He's from Ventura, California, out here in the San Fernando Valley, and he goes to Loyola Marymount University. Ironically, he's listed as a left-handed pitcher on the website, but he is actually a right-handed hitter here for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. And it looks like there was a warning to Michael Spears. No, it was a warning to the catcher, Cole Brodnansky. I'm not exactly sure what the warning was, but the umpire said if he does it again, he'll be ejected. And it might be the bullpen, and now Coach Gomes is going to come out to have a conversation. He's getting an explanation from our home plate umpire. And he's starting to eject. He's starting just to pick out a guy from the bullpen to eject them. And he also gave a warning to Brodnansky. I'm not exactly sure, but nonetheless, nobody's been ejected. Everybody hopefully is calm as a bird flies right over the pitcher's mound. The first pitch to Lewis bounces in the dirt, gets away from Brodnansky, and Michael Spears over to second base. Looks at third, but goes back on the wild pitch. The Oaks have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
And look for Brandon Lewis to get a pitch to hit here. Anything elevated in the zone, Lewis should be all over it. He's been locked in as of late.
Lewis is 1 for 1 with a double and the lone run scored of the ball game. 1-0. The offering. Curveball right into the third baseman's glove. Quentin Selma spears that one out of the air. Looks Michael Spears back to second, and that's out number 1. By the way, Seamus Lyons' line, I forgot to give it to you. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, it was earned. 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts. First pitch to Jordan McFarland. Bounces in the dirt. Retrieved quickly by Brodnansky for ball 1. 1 run, 3 hits for the Oaks. No runs, no hits for the Packers. No errors on either side. Sun beginning to set behind us. The shadows are getting longer. The temperature now in the high 70s. I think everybody's happy about that. And the 1-0. Curveball low for ball 2 here to Jordan McFarland. McFarland's been really good, as I mentioned in his last at-bat. He's batting .339. He does have that RBI single here today. But he's also fast. He's a 5-tool player. He can field for you. He can play the outfield. He can play right or left field. He has the speed to run around the base paths to steal bases if you need. The 2-0, a curveball, chopped down the third base line, and a nice grab by Oaks third base coach Brian Wilson. But it's out, or strike number 1 nonetheless. McFarland is very hidden in his talent. Very fast, phenomenal glove, but he plays first base, so you don't get to see him exploit those qualities that often. 2-1, fastball in there for strike 2. He's an Oaks returner who batted .294 this past season with Arkansas. He played in the College World Series. He only had a day off before making the trek out to the West Coast with the Caneo Oaks for his second stint, and he has been unbelievable for the Oaks this season. 2-2 pitch, a fastball low and away for ball 3. Big spot here. The Oaks trying to extend their lead. And this is the part of the order to do it. Runner on second, only 1 out, and a payoff pitch pending here to Jordan McFarland. Christian offers, lunged over into right center field. Spears over to third. He's being waved on in. The throw is coming to the plate, and it is cut off. Another RBI single by Jordan McFarland gives the Oaks a 2-0 lead.
Well, McFarland, you mentioned, played in the College World Series, so the moment is for sure not too big for him. He's coming up clutch here in the biggest game of the season, and that is huge as we're going to see a pitching change.
Already we are going to see a pitching change indeed. Olden Christian's day is done. The Prune Packers really don't want to go away. They know that this game is big regardless of the playoff implications on their side because they are already in. New pitcher, by the way, is Nick Roth from College of Marin. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Roth will be on the mound. 1 around, 1 on, 1 out here. Oaks up 2-0 on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Nick Roth is on the mound from College of Marin. He's actually another local product from Fairfax, California. That's just down the road from us. Well, if you take out all the traffic on the 405, it is, but that's never the case. So what could be a 45-minute drive normally is 2 hours or an hour and 45 minutes. Nonetheless, though, 12 innings pitched so far. ERA at 3.09. First pitch upstairs for ball one to Chase Cockrell, who's 0 for 1. Flew out to right his first time up. Holden Christian went a third of an inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no walks. Check that, 1 walk and no strikeouts to his day. Third pitcher of the ball game here in the third inning. Oaks up 2-0. Roth offers. High, deep drive to left center field. That is way back and over the scoreboard for a 2-run shot. Chase Cockrell does it again. The Oaks pad their lead. It's 4-0.
And I hate to say I called it, but I did. Not on the broadcast, but you could tell the way the ball was jumping off of Cockrell's bat in warm-ups today. He seems to be all the way back after that short mini slump, and it's coming at the perfect time for the Oaks heading into the playoffs.
One of those runs is earned to Holden Christian. He ends his day with 2, and the first pitch by Nick Roth gets absolutely demolished by Chase Cockrell. That's his 5th of the season, and he was a Golden Spike semifinalist for a reason, folks. You see it right there. Oaks up 4-0. Elijah Alexander now waves and misses at a curveball for strike 1. He's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking. Another guy with a lot of home run power and is due for a long ball. The Oaks trying to heat up at the right time. If they hold on to win this game, they'll play at 4 o'clock tomorrow against the Foresters. 0-1 pitch, bounces in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. And of course, very early in this ball game, the Packers have an electric offense on their side of things. So a 4-run lead, though it is early, is not even close to safe. Roth delivers the 1-1 outside for ball 2. Four runs on 5 hits for the Oaks. No runs, no hits for the Packers. No errors on either side. Bottom of the third inning, the 2-1 offering. Waved foul. It's even the count here to Elijah Alexander. A lot of local guys, even on the Packers, Elijah Alexander being one of them and one of the most known. Played high school ball here at Camarillo High School, just down the road. Then went to Ventura College as a football and baseball player. Only played a season, though, at Ventura College before heading to the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. The 2-2. Waved at and missed for strike 3 on a 78-mile-an-hour off-speeder. That's out number 2 here, and the first strikeout for Nick Roth. That'll bring up Sam Shaken now. He had the oddest double we've seen all season long, and I tell you, folks, we've seen some weird plays. Just a blooper over to left field that nobody can get to that was inches away from being foul. He's 1 for 1. He was stranded, though, thereafter. Luke Desvit and Pickett's were all retired. But Shaken will try to extend this inning for the Oaks. First pitch, outside ball 1. The CCL playoff for the first time since the inauguration of the CCL is held elsewhere than Compton. MLB Urban Youth Academy this year. As we said, it's here at Cal Lutheran. 1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1 to even the count. The Oaks are the host team. Jordan Brenner and I are the official voice of the CCL playoffs, regardless of the Oaks are in it or not. And it changes every year now. They're going to have a bid, or our commissioner, Pat Burns, is going to deem a city the host team. 1-1 pitch, fouled back for strike 2. And this year the Oaks got the inaugural first playoff games outside of Compton.
I think that's a good thing, too, Jonathan. A lot of these teams, they play much better at home. So just, switch off every year and give a different team that home field advantage. I think that evens the playing field a little bit.
1-2, high fastball, big wave and a miss for strike 3. After the big homer, Nick Roth retires 2 Oaks by way of the strikeout. 3 runs come around on 3 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're headed to the top of the 4th inning. The Oaks up 4-0 on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. It's the Justin Friedman Show, and it's coming up next after this break. Back here for the fourth inning. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, but it's my pleasure to hand off play-by-play responsibilities for the middle three innings to my broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner. And in his inaugural CCL color opportunity, our wonderful producer, Sean McKinnon, is going to take the mic for the next two innings as our color guy.
Thank you, Jonathan. Splendid job today. Justin Friedman kicks and fires the first pitch, a fastball high and away for ball one against Brian Arias. Sean, welcome to the broadcast also. Always love hearing from you.
Good to be here, Jordan. I'm excited to see some Oaks baseball.
Oh, yeah. 4-0 lead for the Oaks. The 1-0 pitch from Friedman. Just a little bit low, and it's ball two. Arias today is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. The Oaks playing straight away. Defensively, Lewis shaking left side, Pickett's McFarland right side. The 2-0 pitch, a rip and a miss, and it's 2-1. The outfield looks like this. Lucas in left, Alexander in center, Michael Spears out in right field. Jordan McFarland has been a very big reason why the Oaks are on top 4-0. As the 2-1 pitch touches the outside corner to even the count. McFarland has 2 RBI base hits, 1 to left field, 1 to center field. And then Chase Cockrell, the other big blow, the towering shot over the left center field wall to give the Oaks a 4-0 lead. 2-2 fouled back to the screen, and we'll do it again. Justin Friedman today has been sharp, 2 strikeouts, has only walked 1 batter. And he's also doing something that we can't really talk about. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Friedman steps off, though. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Healdsburg. As Friedman comes set, the pitch is once again fouled back into the screen, and 2-2 will happen again, Sean.
It's riveting.
Riveting stuff. Sean, we love to have you here on the broadcast. How's it been as the inaugural producer for Oaks baseball this year?
It's been quite an experience.
2-2 lined into right field. There's the first hit of the ball game. Into right field to Michael Spears. And Jonathan on production now gives me a look. I will take credit for that one. I did jinx it.
I think you deserve that look, Jordan. I mean, what was it, a play before that you had to mention it, Jordan?
More like 2 pitches before. Well, anyway, now we can give the full line. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors for Healdsburg. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Conejo Oaks. Big crowd on hand today at George Spark Anderson Field. Fastball resides high to Jacob McNichols, and the count is 1-0. It's been all Conejo so far, but we all know how explosive Healdsburg is. They can strike at any moment. 1-0, a home run swing, but nothing doing there. Into the glove of Vitt, and the count is 1-1. McNichols leads the CCL in home runs. 14 on the season. Was trying to hit number 15 right there. A ball and a strike, a deep breath, and now the pitch from Friedman. Fastball, towering fly ball in foul territory. Vitt has a look behind the plate, near the fence. Can't make the grab as he falls into the netting behind home plate. 1-2. Bryce Vitt already made a nice play behind the plate on a pop out in an awkward space of the field. That one he couldn't get to. Started in foul territory near the seats over the left side and then came back into play as the wind pushed it back. Anyway, a ball and 2 strikes. Friedman checks the runner, gets his sign. From the belt he fires. A big curveball, foul tip into the glove of Bryce Vitt for Friedman's 3rd strikeout of the ball game. A nasty pitch right there for Justin. Quentin Selma is next up. So for 1 today, the fly out to left field. Plays his collegiate ball at the University of California, Berkeley. A runner on, 1 out. Friedman's first pitch. Ground ball through the right side, a base hit. Arias is going to stop at second base, and first and second with 1 out is the situation. That just found a hole. Wasn't hit hard off the bat of Selma, but it is a hit indeed.
And although Freeman just gave up a hit, he's looked so poised out there on the mound. With a game with stakes this big, his mind is where it needs to be. He's composed, he's dealing the pitches he needs to be dealing, and he's been getting batters out.
Yeah, he has been simply spectacular so far, and that is ample analysis from you, Sean. First pitch is high, 1-0. Thank you to everybody tuning in to this big game. A win or go home situation for Conejo as Dane Tofflin is in the batter's box. A 1-0 count, 2 on. Friedman comes set. The pitch throws a fastball right by him, 91 miles an hour. On the gun, a ball and a strike. Friedman ready to go. He has been determined all day long. It's a different look on his face. 1-1 pitch. Curveball in the dirt blocked by Vitt. And another swing and a miss. That pitch is just starting at 12, ending at 6. Falling off of a chair into the dirt. Action out in the Healdsburg bullpen. No action in the Oaks bullpen. Freeman checks the runner at second. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball, chopper left side. Brandon Lewis Fields has to hurry over to first base. Not in time to get the speedy Tofflin. And the bases will be loaded with an out as Sam Wesniak comes to the plate representing the tying run. Just an unfortunate bounce off the bat of Tofflin for the Oaks. Lewis did whatever he could. He charged the ball, fielded it, hurried a sidearm throw over to McFarland. Just couldn't get enough on it.
Shortstop number 3, Sam Wesniak.
And now it starts to get a little bit nerve-wracking if you're an Oaks fan. Sam Wesniak hit a fly ball to right field. He's 0 for 1 in his only plate appearance today. Friedman gets his sign, a deep breath, the pitch. Curveball stays upstairs, 1-0. Sam Wesniak has 9 home runs on the season. 19 extra base hits and 32 RBIs. Another off-speed pitch stays high, and Friedman struggling a little bit. We haven't seen this from him today, but he gets himself into a jam right here. Let's see how he can work out of it. A pitch away from a tie ball game and also a pitch away from ending this inning. Fastball outside, and now Friedman has dug himself even deeper into the ground, behind 3-0. Deep breaths, Oaks fans. Friedman ready to go. The 3-0 pitch to Wesniak from the belt. The pitch, inside corner, 87 on a fastball. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Infield is at normal double play depth. The 3-1 pitch, hit hard, right center field. Alexander root moving towards the track. It's down and off the wall. 1 in, 2 in. A third run coming around third. The throw to the plate is not in time. Wesniak makes it a 4-3 ball game on a laser shot double into right center field.
Alexander just kept looking back and adjusting his route, but he couldn't get there in time. I mean, that ball was hit all the way to the track, and by the time it came back around, Healdsburg had the speed to bring in those runs.
You expect Alexander to really come up with any ball hit to center field, but that ball just kept fading into right center field. No way Alexander could get it. As Coach Solis is going to come out and talk to his very good right-hander. So after Justin Friedman went 3 no-hit innings, he's given up 4 hits so far in this frame. 3 have come around, and the tying run, Wesniak, is in scoring position at second base. Cole Brodnansky is the new hitter. The catcher grounded into a 6-3 putout, his only appearance. And nobody's up for the Oaks, so this is Friedman's inning. Coach Solis, before his time as the head coach for the Oaks, was actually the pitching coach, so always knows what to say to his hurlers. That's why a lot of the players love playing for Coach Solis. He has that pitcher's perspective on things, understands the game at a very deep level. The first pitch is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. To Brodnansky. Cole Brodnansky this year, 237. No home runs. 13 RBIs. A swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1. So all of a sudden, after the Oaks jumped out to a 4-0 lead, it's a ball game once again. No lead is safe, especially in the CCL and especially against the Packers. 1-1, rip and a miss. Fastball on the outer half. Good movement from Friedman, and it recovers nicely. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Friedman comes set, gets his sign from Vitt. Fastball high, maybe setting up the next pitch, but the count is 2-2. 1 run in the bottom of the first, 3 runs in the bottom of the third for the Oaks, and 3 runs here for the Packers here in the top of the fourth. Friedman comes set, checks Wozniak at second, and here's the pitch. Off-speed ground ball to Shaken. He fields, takes his time, sidearm over to first, and that's the second 6-3 putout for Brodnansky on the day, and Wozniak moves over to third with 2 outs in the inning. 90 feet away from tying this ball game up. Friedman has to prevent a buried pitch in the dirt that could get away from Vitt because a pass ball ties the game. Cade Peters, the new hitter, struck out looking his only at bat. Fastball 90 miles an hour on the gun, but it's high, 1-0. Friedman, 1 wild pitch so far today. The 1-0 pitch fouled back off the glove of Vitt, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Healdsburg already knows what their plans are for the weekend. Taking on Orange County tomorrow. The Oaks trying to lock in their spot to play Santa Barbara tomorrow. The 1-1 pitch, foul tipped into foul territory. Good barehanded play by Sandry out in the on-deck circle, and the count is 1-2. Now we see action in the Oaks bullpen. Looks like Nick Ringcover is warming up. One of the Oaks' 2 southpaws out in the bullpen. Actually 3 southpaws with Jackson Simon's guard coming along. 1-2 low and inside, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield playing pretty straight away. Alexander, the center fielder, shaded slightly towards right field. Will Pickett's with the lefty at the plate. Has his feet on the outfield grass. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Hit hard left field. Will it drop? It will. And the Packers tie the game on an opposite field single from Cade Peters. And that 4-0 lead is completely gone now. 4-4 is the score after Healdsburg dropped the 4th spot here in this inning. 4 runs, 4 hits so far in the inning. A bit of a shocking blow to the Oaks. First pitch, jam shot in foul territory. McFarland and Vitt over to have a look, but it's out of play. Now rolls into the parking lot, 0-1. Sandry has come to the plate twice today. A ground out to second base in the first inning. A hit by pitch in the third. He also stole a bag. Leads off for this Prune Packers team. And Sandry hits at a mark of 444. So dangerous in the leadoff spot. 0-1 comes in. Just a bit off the plate, and the count is even at a ball and a strike. Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Just the Oaks fans didn't seem to be too happy with that one.
Yeah, that looked to be a very close pitch, but just a bit outside. That one doesn't miss. A big swing and a miss from Sandry. 1-2. A pitch away from getting the strikeout, the 4th of the ball game for Friedman, and getting out of this inning. Here's the pitch. 1-2, foul ball again out of play to the right side. 93 from Friedman. A little bit of reach back action for the righty. I don't think we've seen him throw that hard all year. But big moments, you get the best stuff from your players. 1-2, curveball stays high, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And maybe a better way of putting it is, in big games, you get the adrenaline rush from pitchers. They'll throw harder than usual. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Foul ball again into the parking lot on the right side. And once again, Friedman showing an inability to finish hitters, especially here in this 4th frame.
He was good for so long, and then just I was saying he's been so composed on the mound. He gave up one after another. And, we'll see if he can close out the inning here, or the half inning.
You're right. It will be important. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball hit softly, but foul down the left side. Lewis fields it, tosses it back to Friedman, and will do 2-2 once again. And this is where Friedman, that development of a third off-speed pitch, will be so useful for him. We've seen the fastball, we've seen the curveball, but getting a tick or two off the changeup in terms of velocity would be enormous for the righty. Certainly a D1 caliber player, but going to Hope International. Ground ball through the middle, a base hit again. Make that 5 hits on the inning for Healdsburg. They just keep swinging the bats very well. And now Ben Sanderson is the new hitter, and if he gets aboard, Healdsburg will have batted around.
Center fielder number 2, Ben Sanderson.
Sanderson 0 for 1 with a ground out. Also walked and advanced on a wild pitch. Bats from the left side, goes to college at UC Santa Barbara. Friedman, a fastball inner half, called a strike. Took a little bit off to make sure he found the zone. 85 on the fastball. Ringcover really ramping up his work out in the Oaks bullpen. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball. McFarland leaps, can't get there. A runner around third's going to score. Healdsburg takes a 5-4 lead on a double from Ben Sanderson down the right field line. Healdsburg has hit around in this inning. 7 hits in the frame. Unbelievable, shocking stuff here as Cade Peters comes around to score the 5th run of the inning. And here comes Coach Dave Solis. That's going to do it for Justin Friedman. We'll give you his line. We'll give you more information about Nick Ringcover, who's coming into the ballgame, when we come back. 5 runs across in the inning. Don't go anywhere. It's a riveting one on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Nick Ringcover comes in to finish off the fourth inning. Justin Friedman started off hot, but his final line after a tough fourth inning is as follows. 3 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. He also hit a batter. Nick Ringcover this year in 13 appearances, an ERA of 3.86. He's gone 21 innings and struck out 26 batters.
Nick Ringcover needs to start hot here so these two runners in scoring position don't do any further damage.
You're definitely right about that. Brian Arias is the batter, takes a strike. 0-1. Arias led off the inning. So this is his second plate appearance. Today he's 1 for 2. Started off the inning with a base hit to right field. One of the best hitters in the Healdsburg lineup. 0-1 from Ringcover. Here it is. Swing and a miss, a nasty slider that drops below the bat. And it's 0-2. For Ringcover, it's a fastball, slider, changeup. One of the nastiest sliders in the CCL, especially from the left side. 0-2, comes set. And he fires the pitch. Down and away, 1-2. That looked like the changeup, actually. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 in scoring position, 5 around so far in the inning. Gets his sign from Vitt, comes set. And the 1-2 hurl, here it is. Slider, foul tipped off the glove of Vitt. And rolls into foul territory, will do it again. The Oaks, no strangers to weird games, and this is no exception. Healdsburg came back from a 4-0 deficit to take a 5-4 lead. 1-2 from Ringcover. Here it is. Slider stays just a bit outside. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jacob McNichols, the powerful righties, on deck if the inning continues. Infield and outfield straight away. No action in the Oaks bullpen, but there is action in the Healdsburg bullpen. 2-2 from the belt, the pitch. Slider in the dirt. Vitt blocks it. A runner from third base, Sandry, tried to get a read on that and come on home, but Vitt made a nice play to keep him at bay. Go ahead, Sean.
It was a tense moment there, but it was smart of Vitt not to throw. I mean, the runners had already got back to their respective bases, and we would want to avoid an error by the Oaks.
Yeah, especially for a team that's been struggling defensively. One error like that could be devastating. So Vitt made the right decision. Full count pitch. Ringcover comes set the pitch. Slider down and in, ball 4. And the inning continues. Arias has been aboard twice now today, as Jacob McNichols, the powerful righty who leads the CCL in home runs, comes to the plate. 0 for 2 today, a swinging strikeout and a pop out behind the plate to Vitt. Has not been seeing the ball well, but a left on right matchup might just be what he needs. First pitch, swing and a miss, 84, a fastball above the letters. 0-1. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Healdsburg. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Caneo. Ringcover, the pitch. Fastball just outside. Don't know where that one missed, but the umpire made his decision. 1-1. The pitch, slider down and in, and Bryce Vitt continues to do exceptional work behind the plate, saving yet another run on a wonderful block. A slider that missed the back leg of the hitter McNichols, bounced in the dirt. Vitt had to move his entire body, get in front of that ball and make the play. 2-1 pitch. 3 balls and a strike on the fastball that misses down and away. And now we're going to see some action in the Oaks bullpen as John Vergara gets up and ready to go. 3-1 pitch. Ringcover's offering. This is a strike. Foul territory, a pop-up. McFarland has a look, and makes the play up against the fence for the third and final out of the frame. What a play in foul territory by Jordan McFarland. Not before. 5 runs on 7 hits. No errors and 2 runners left aboard. 5-4. Healdsburg's on top. As we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, the Oaks have to get the bats going again when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. We're back in for the bottom of the 4th inning as Andrew Lucas leads off against the University of Pacific hurler, Edward O'Bannon. O'Bannon on the season, a 4.02 ERA in 15 2/3 innings. He's struck out 13 batters this season. The righty. And the 4th pitcher of the ball game for Healdsburg gets ready for his first pitch of the game. Andrew Lucas is 0-1 with a fly out to center field. Swings at the first pitch once again and fouls it out of play behind us. 0-1. A winner-go-home game for Caneo, so you know they're going to throw as many arms as is needed to stay alive. 0-1 pitch. Called a strikeout or half, 81 miles an hour on the fastball. 0-2.
And Coach Solis was telling us just a few days ago that he would have a short leash when it came to the playoffs. And we're not there yet, but we soon are.
Well, Coach Solis agreed. This is pretty much a playoff game, though. Slider outside, 1-2. So you're absolutely right in that analysis. Andrew Lucas is up, Bryce Vitt behind him, and Will Pickett is in the hole. 1-2 pitch, here it is. Slider, did he go? Appeal over to first base, and a quick no, he did not call from the first base umpire to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lucas digs on in there. Does his pre-swing rituals, and now is ready for the 2-2 pitch on its way. Hit hard, high, left side, medium deep, and the play is made. An F7 to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 flyouts for Andrew Lucas today as he moves to 0 for 2. Bryce Vitt has been doing his job behind the plate, making a number of very good defensive plays for the Oaks. But he's 0 for 1 on offense with a strikeout. Trying to correct that right here. The righty comes set. First pitch. Slider just off the plate away, 1-0. Start of the strike was a strike for about 55 feet, but slid away the final few. Next pitch. Another slider. Vitt was confused, but he gets a piece of it and fouls it out of play over the dugout on the right side, 1-1. Edward O'Bannon has a little bit of a weird release on the mound. Begins to throw as if he's going to come across his body, but actually throws quite a bit over the top. A little bit confusing to read if you're a hitter. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Will it get through? Wesniak dives but can't get to it. And Bryce Vitt is aboard with the Oaks' 6th hit of the ball game. Will Pickett's, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. More actually a line out to right field. He stranded Sam Shaken at second base when he did it. Certainly deserved to be a hit, but Jacob McNichols was able to get to the ball and make a nice play out and right. Will Pickett's shows bunt, pulls back, and the pitch is low for a ball. Will Pickett's 227, no home runs, and 12 RBIs on the season. His on-base percentage all the way up to .354. Leads the team in sacrifice bunts and bunt base hits, so that's why he showed on the first pitch. 1-0 is away, 2-0. Pickett's played a huge part on this team when Tanner Wright went down, replacing him, and immediately started to produce. For a while there, he was really scuffling at the plate, but showing everybody what he can do the last few weeks. 2-0 pitch from O'Bannon. Down and away, and Pickett's is ahead 3-0. Got to be taking here. A walk gets the tying run in scoring position and the go-ahead run on base. Pickett's is the 9-hole hitter, but we all know Coach Solis loves to put contact guys at the bottom of the lineup. Hitting ninth if you're an Oak does not mean you're the worst hitter in the lineup by any means. 2-0 inside corner. Called a strike. Actually 3-0 on the inside corner, and the count is 3-1. Rests his bat on the shoulder and takes a strike, or takes a ball high for the walk. 2 on with 1 out as Michael Spears comes to the plate trying to tie this ball game up.
Patient Pickett's doing what he needs to do. Getting on base and providing opportunities for his fellow Oaks.
Like that nickname, as we're going to see a mound visit between the head coach Joey Gomes and the right-hander Edward O'Bannon. Joey Gomes is the brother of former big league star Johnny Gomes. Johnny Gomes played a bunch of years in the big leagues and now is the current hitting coach for the Arizona Diamondbacks rookie league team. Trying to pursue a career in coaching just like his brother. Michael Spears today, 0 for 1. Tried to get aboard leading off the game with a bunt down the right line, but hit it a little bit too hard into the glove of Peters and was out. His second time to the plate, he walked and came around to score. 2 on, 1 out. O'Bannon comes set. Here's the pitch. Slider down and away, but called a strike on the corner. Pickett's getting a modest lead on first. The same with Vitt on second. Another slider low in the dirt. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Big inning for Caneo. Gave up 5 runs in the first half of the fourth. Trying to immediately respond, though. O'Bannon slowly comes set. Checks the runner, a deep breath. Here's the offering. Another missed pitch, and it's 2-1. Down and in on the fastball. Outfield shifted slightly towards left field. A lot of room in right center field and down the right field line. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fly ball right center field, not deep. Jacob McNichols ranges under it, makes the play, and fires it back into the infield quickly. Hits his cutoff man, and they're 2 away in the inning. Brandon Lewis is the new hitter. Lewis 1 for 2 today, a hard double out to deep left center field. And he's the guy you want at the plate. If you're the Oaks, leads the team in average. At-bats, runs, hits, base hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs. The list goes on and on. Front runner for CCL MVP. And there's going to be a timeout on the field as Lewis gets set to see his first pitch. Chance to do some serious damage here. O'Bannon comes set, checks the runner, and here's the pitch. Outside, another slider, 1-0. Brandon Lewis loves to swing at pitches early in the count. Doesn't like to waste time at the plate. He'll take his walks once in a while, but not all too often. 1-0 pitch. Lewis starts the swing, holds up, and a slider is away, 2-0. An appeal over to the first base umpire confirms that. Two balls, no strikes. McFarland, who has 2 RBI singles, is on deck. This is the part of the Oaks lineup you do not want to make mistakes to. O'Bannon, the offering. Fastball, a little bit too high, but Lewis couldn't put a great swing on it. Fly ball into shallow right field, and it's Kevin Sandry, the second baseman, getting out there and making the play to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and the Oaks strand a pair as we head to the 5th inning on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network.
We will be honoring the Oaks interns that have been helping
Quentin Selma leads off the 5th inning. First pitch from Ringcover. Here it is. Slider away, 1-0. In the half inning, the Conejo Oaks honored all of the wonderful interns that work with the team. Lovely ceremony. 1-0's a fastball in the outer half. Called a strike, 1-1. I'm almost out of breath, Sean.
I am too.
We had to run downstairs, receive that honor. Very much appreciated. As 1-1 misses away on the fastball. But of course, the biggest honor came for the 3-year voice of the Conejo Oaks, Jonathan Rifkind, who stayed upstairs and received a much-deserved applause. 2-1 misses down in the way, 3 balls and a strike. It was definitely the loudest applaud for Jonathan, who has been doing so much for the team, both in broadcasting and beyond. 3-1, a high fly ball. Inside the infield now in foul territory. And Lewis over to make the play for the first out of the inning. The new hitter, Dane Tofflin, who's 1 for 2, a base hit and a strikeout. Also a run scored. Comes to the plate. Tofflin hit the walk-off home run earlier this week. But anyway, the Oaks so fortunate to have so many great interns, social media, producers, ground ball left side. Lewis again makes the play. Sidearm a little bit high, but McFarland makes the reach for the second out of the inning. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 5th. And without all those interns, really none of what Jonathan and I do would be possible. Really, none of it would be possible without them. Everybody has their specific roles, and it's really a great environment to work in. Everybody's very close and cares about one another. First pitch, a ringing fastball on the inside corner called a strike to Sam Wesniak, who had a big, big blow on the double in the last inning. 0-1, a rip and a miss. Actually foul tipped off the glove of it. And it's quickly 0-2. Nick Ringcover, really more than any other Oaks pitcher that I've watched this season, really gets into some grooves. And when he gets going, he's hard to stop. 0-2, ready to go. Kicks and fires the pitch. Fastball outside corner. Everybody thought that was strike 3. The entire Oaks field started taking a few steps towards the dugout, but it wasn't meant to be. So it's 1-2, 2 outs, nobody on. Ringcover. Here's the pitch. This time, a swing and a miss on the curveball. Inside corner. And Wesniak had no chance to get it. 1-2-3 here in the top of the 5th. Oaks come back to bat. Down 5-4 in the bottom of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The time has come for the Oaks to make some noise offensively. They started off swinging the bats very hot today, cooled off in the last inning, and now here we are on the bottom of the fifth as Jordan McFarland, who's having a big day, leads off. McFarland, 2 for 2, 2 base hits, 2 RBIs, hits one hard, left center field. Will it drop? It will. All the way to the wall. McFarland racing towards second base, and he's in there with a stand-up double to begin the inning. That's the way to start a rally.
The designated hitter number 35, Chase Cockrell.
And it is Chase Cockrell's turn to swing the bat. And he made a lot of noise his last time up. A 2-run home run, a towering shot over the scoreboard in left center field. Whenever Chase Cockrell comes to the plate here at George Sparky Anderson Field, there is almost a silence to the crowd because everybody's in awe of what this guy can do at the plate. First pitch, Cockrell just misses a fastball. Fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. Chase hit his 5th home run of the season earlier today. Make that actually his 6th home run of the season. Still hitting at a .333 clip despite his slump. 0-1 pitch. Hanging curveball, foul tipped off of the mask of Brodnansky, and it's 0-2. Elijah Alexander's on deck, followed by Sam Shaken. And as much as Chase Cockrell wants to do damage, in an 0-2 count, it's probably a good idea to shorten up and try and push the ball to the right side to get McFarland over. Especially in a big game like this, you gotta get runs where you can. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, fouled back to the screen again. Cockrell stays alive. We'll do 0-2 once more. We'll be a long day on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network tomorrow. Pleasure to bring you the semifinals. First game at noon, second game around 4:30. We will be announcing Healdsburg again. Will we be announcing the Oaks? The 0-2 pitch. Cockrell hits one hard. Base hit left side. McFarland had to hold at second base for a second, but advances over to third base on Chase Cockrell's second hit of the day.
Center fielder number 19, Elijah Alexander.
Elijah Alexander is the new hitter. And he has been a consistent force all season long at the plate. Consistent 300-plus hitter. But he's been making a lot of noise, especially recently. 324, 3 home runs, and 15 RBIs. Powerful lefty digs in. O'Bannon's first pitch. Hard hit. Bounces. 4-6-3, a double play, but McFarland scores nonetheless. The Oaks, I don't know if they love the trade, but they trade 2 outs for the tying run, and we're even at 5. Cockrell was out at second base, and Alexander nabbed at first base on Sandry to Wesniak Peters, the 4-6-3 double play.
Shortstop, number 25, Sam Shaken.
Sam Shaken, a new hitter, 1 for 2, a double. That was the blooper to left field. And he struck out swinging. Nobody on now with 2 outs. Fastball high and inside. 1-0. The first run Edward O'Bannon has given up today. Now every Healdsburg pitcher has given up at least 1. 1-0 hurl. Here it is. Hit hard right side. Sandry dives but can't get to it. And Sam Shaken aboard with his second hit of the ball game. Though probably the first one that he truly earned. Andrew Lucas is the new hitter. 0 for 2, 2 flyouts. First time up, he flew out to center field on the first pitch he saw. The second time up, however, he grinded out an out bat, which ended in a flyout to left field. Everybody knows about the potential of Andrew Lucas. Curveball high, 1-0. Only a recent graduate of high school Hasn't even played his freshman year yet, and still starting in the biggest game of the season for the Conejo Oaks. So impressive. 1-0. Confused on a curveball. Swings through a 1-1. Has far fewer at-bats than most Oaks starters, but still tied. Actually leads the team in triples by himself with 3. 1-1. In the dirt, blocked by Brodnansky. It's 2-1. Lucas will be playing his baseball at Cal State Northridge, staying local. The Ventura County High School Player of the Year. Playing on one of the best summer collegiate teams in the area. 2-1. Outside corner called a strike. Count even at 2. Was selected as the 9th best prospect in the California Collegiate League. Went to the prospect game. Got a hit. 2-2. Runner goes. Ground ball left side. Selma backhand. Over to first base. Nice play by the third baseman. And that's going to end the frame. But the Oaks tied the game. A run on 3 hits. No errors. 1 runner left aboard. 5-5 as we head to the 6th. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a thrilling finish on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Cole Brodnansky leads off the top of the 6th inning. We thank Sean McKinnon for his wonderful color the past couple of frames, but Jonathan Rifkind has come back from his extended bathroom break. Just kidding. He was just on production.
Sean, I'm sure people want you more than me.
First pitch fouled out of play right side, 0-1.
He did a great job on color.
He did. And Jonathan, we'd love to have you back.
Happy to be back. Production's fun, though. It's hard. Sean, you are an incredible human being to be able to do this game in and game out.
0-1. Brodnansky takes a slider in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brodnansky today 0 for 2. 2 ground outs to shaken at short. 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, gets by Vitt. Nobody's on, so it doesn't matter, and it's 2-1. But Jonathan, I know that was tough for you in the top of the 4th inning. I mean, you've been the voice of the Oaks for 3 years. How many times are you not with a mic in your hand? You just had to hold your breath. You couldn't say anything on that 5-run rally.
Yeah, I think it was for the best for everybody. No, it was a different experience. I liked it. I mean, this is my 173rd Oak game. And it was nice to do something different for a little bit.
Count now 3-1, and ring cover misses upstairs on a 5-pitch walk. Brodnansky aboard for his first time today. And Cade Peters, who had a base hit his last time up and a run scored, comes to the plate.
Here's where I will finally start contributing here to the broadcast on color. That was the first walk given up by ring cover, or actually the second walk on the game, but he's been starting off pitching around batters. That's the problem. If you go back to the last inning, even though he went 1, 2, 3, he started out 2 of the 3 batters with balls. Right here, he went around Cole Brodnansky. He needs to start attacking more. That's been his biggest problem. He's not attacking and controlling these at-bats.
Slider in the dirt, 1-0. Nick Rincover's best appearance came his first time in San Luis Obispo, and his worst appearance came his second time in San Luis Obispo.
Now the turntables have turned.
One ball, no strikes. Rincover checks the runner, throws over to first base, not in time. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Healdsburg. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Conejo. What a ball game so far. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball outer half. 1-1.
See, that's what I'm saying for Rincover, especially in a lefty-on-lefty matchup. He has the slider to get lefties to reach. It's almost like a Chris Sale slider, though, just underdeveloped. He has a great fastball, and when he reaches out to his left over his shoulder, it keeps batters off balance. Right there was a perfect example of that.
Ball on a strike showing. Bunt gets it down. Back to Rincover on the mound. Only one play. Over to first base, and it pulls McFarland off the bag. Peters safe at first base, and Brodnansky over to second base. There's the first error of the ball game. And Jonathan, we talked about it in pregame. You can't make errors in a big game like this.
Yeah, the Oaks last week committed error after error. They had 5 on Tuesday. They had 4 on Thursday and 5 on Friday. Today, their first error, but it needs to be a lot cleaner because not only are these Prune Packers already proven that they're explosive and that they can stay with these Oaks teams, or this Oaks team, but errors handing them opportunities is the last thing you want to do.
Nobody out, 2 on for Kevin Sandry. A long look over to second base by Rincover, and now he fires his first pitch. Pop up, but out of play right side, 0-1. Sandry today, 1 for 2. A base hit to center field, a stolen base and a hit by pitch, as well as a ground out. Double play depth for the middle infielders. The corners are in as the bunt is down. Back to Rincover. In and out of his glove, and Sandry safe at first base. That was popped up to Rincover. He made a diving effort to grab it and then maybe double off either Peters or Brodnansky, but that was a tough play, and Sandry's going to be rewarded with a hit. So bases juice now with nobody out.
If you're Rincover in this situation, Jordan, what do you do?
Center fielder number 2, Ben Sanderson.
Well, with the lefty Sanderson up, you got to go with your strikeout stuff here.
Fastball slider combination has to be working.
Yeah.
And keep it low. Even if you give up a run, a double play is beneficial. But the last thing you want to do is walk away from this at-bat with more than 1 run having crossed the plate.
Critical moment in this game. Rincover's first pitch. High and away, 1-0.
And the Oaks looks like they have John Vergara still continuing to warm up. He was just stretching before, but now throwing some serious bullpen to Zach Kamenko.
Sanderson has a double to right field today. Also a walk. 1-0 pitch. Outside corner called a strike, 1-1. And Rincover, we all know he's got the strikeout stuff. Jonathan, you mentioned that wipeout slider. He hasn't been able to throw that for a strike consistently today. That's the difference. Fastball, swing and a miss. Bottom half of the zone, and it's 1-2.
But this is the spot for that slider. You're in a pitcher's count. You have some pitches to play with. You throw an outside slider that starts on the inner half of the plate and doesn't bite. That's fine. You have more pitches to play with. But this is the opportunity with a batter protecting to throw the slider.
Called strike 3. There's that slider. And the first out of the inning and the second strikeout of the ball game for Nick Rincover. What a big pitch and a big moment right there. Brian Arias is the new hitter. 1 for 2 today, a walk, a base hit, a run scored. And now Brandon Lewis comes in to have a discussion with his pitcher, and Bryce Vick going to trot out there to have a discussion as well.
This is overall the best player on the Healdsburg Prune Packer team. 5-tool player, fast. He can hit for power. He can hit for contact. He's consistent. He's smart. He can run. So the game plan here has to be find a way to make him ground out, get out of this inning. Brandon Lewis is a very smart guy. He sees these guys.
he'll go back and he'll recount what happens in ball games. So he's seen Brian Arias. He remembers what happened last month when these two teams played. So he's probably giving some tips to Nick Rinkover on what he needs to do to try to get him out.
First pitch. Check swing, but it's off the plate inside. Peel over to first base confirms that 1-0. Three-hole hitter for the Packers. DHing today. 1-0. Raincover needs a double play ball. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right side. McFarland, he's going to think about coming home, but he decides better of it and tags first base. Every runner advances, and the score is now 6-5.
He actually bobbled it, Jordan, believe it or not, when it came up on the transfer from his glove to his hand. As he tried to go in a motion to throw home, he got caught and he lost possession of the ball. He had to put it back in his glove to retain possession, and that negated his throw home. So he realized that all he could do was settle for an unassisted put out to first base, as it looks like we have a pinch hitter here.
Runners on second and third. We'll get you the pinch hitter in a second. Luke Fagan is the pinch hitter, hitting .308 on the season. Batting from the right side, coming in for Jacob McNichols. First pitch, slider at the knee, 0-1. McNichols finishes the day 0 for 3, 2 pop-outs, and a strikeout. We saw Fagan up in Healdsburg quite a bit. Started with a day off, but here he is in a big moment. 0-1, slider, down and in, 1-1. 6-5 Healdsburg. 5 in the fourth, 1 in the sixth for them. 1 in the first, 3 in the third, and 1 in the fifth for the Oaks. Slider, fly ball inside the infield. Lewis under it, calls off Shaken, grabs it for the third and final out of the inning. A run on 1 hit, an error, and 2 runners left on base. We're on to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Oaks will try to respond again on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. New pitcher on the mound for Healdsburg is Henrik Reinertsen, taking over for Edward O'Bannon, who went 2 innings, 4 hits, a run, no walks, and no strikeouts. Reinertsen has a 4.29 ERA in 21 innings this year. Andrew Lucas. Actually, Bryce Vitt takes a first pitch ball inside, 1-0. Vitt 1 for 2 today, a base hit and a strikeout.
This is a big spot here for the Oaks.
Fouls went out of play, 1-1.
It's really important for them to start going at these new arms. Most of these guys haven't been warming up very long. They're kind of just thrown in there for Healdsburg. We've been keeping an eye on their bullpen. So to get out some arms that are still loosening up is important.
Crack to the right side. Backhanded stop from Sandry. Sidearm on the bounce. A nice pick from Cade Peters for the first out of the inning.
Almost an error. Peters able to scoop that ball up and hold it against his body, not allowing it to pop out and secure out number 1. That was a good play, though, by Kevin Sandry at second base. He's been very good today, and right there, that's not an easy play. He was out of position on the run. Had to bury one in the dirt, but nonetheless got the out. Well done.
Will Pickett's 0 for 1 today. A walk. Now at the plate with an out in the inning. Slider bounces in the dirt, 1-0.
Watch Pickett's work this count. He will not swing at anything he doesn't like. I expect him to find his way to either fight it to full or to get on base by way of a walk. He did it last time he was up here, and see if he does it again.
Swings at the next pitch. Grounder foul, 1-1. So far, that prediction is still intact, Jonathan.
He's trying to make me look like a fool, which is fine. I'm not unaccustomed to that. But for his playing style, that's what I would expect from him. But you never know. He has hit some very hard balls this season. Very hard.
1-1 pitch, showing bunt. Pickett gets it down left side, hustling, and he beats out another one. Another base hit bunt for Will Pickett's. Wow, he's so good at that.
Or he'll do that, Jordan. That was really incredible. That was a high fastball. It's not easy to dead fish bunt those, but he was able to get on top of it with the barrel, and then he slowly rolled it in between home and third, and what a jump out of the box. That allowed him to get over to first. Now an interesting situation for the Oaks. They have to find a way to get him into scoring position, especially with Brandon Lewis waiting on deck.
And Jonathan, can we expect maybe a recovery trivia question today? As the first pitch is in there, strike one.
No, I think we'll save the trivia questions for the playoffs. Jeffrey Francis gave me too much of a hard time the other day. I need to give our viewers a break.
Swinging a chopper out of play left side, and Spears is down 0-2.
But of course, I'm kidding. Jeffrey Francis has been a great friend to the broadcast, and I talked to him earlier today. It's all in good fun. He's a great guy, and we always appreciate talking with him.
No balls, 2 strikes. Pickett's takes a big lead at first. Here's a pitch, up and in, a ball, 1-2. Spears today, a walk, and that's it. He's 0 for 2. Also scored a run, though. Called strike 3. Spears doesn't like it, but he has to trot back to the dugout on Reinertsen's first strikeout of the ball game.
And that was the problem in that at-bat. I think Spears was too timid. He was waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping for a ball, and it never came. He ended up getting a punch-out, but the problem here now is that there's no runner in scoring position for Brandon Lewis. If he ropes one into right center field, that may score Pickett's, but a single elsewhere does not play to run.
Brandon Lewis swings at the first pitch, fouls it into the parking lot. Has a double today. Maybe a hit and run situation here. Get Pickett's moving at first base. Maybe he can score on a ball in the gap. 0-1. A big curveball. Foul tipped into the glove of Brodnansky. 0-2.
That pitch was wild. That was a great pitch because most guys don't throw looping curveballs to Brandon Lewis over the heart of the plate. I think he was caught off guard, and that worked out for Reinertsen.
0-2 pitch. Runner goes in the dirt. Pickett's will be in at second safely on the wild pitch. Tying run in scoring position. 1-2. 2 outs to Brandon Lewis. Settles in and waits the pitch from Reinertsen. Here it is. Foul tipped out of play, staying alive.
Big spot here for Reinertsen on the mound. Getting some middle inning relieving work. But he's been tasked with trying to send down with a runner in scoring position the front runner for the MVP of the CCL. But right now, he's out ahead in the count. He's done a good job.
Ball and 2 strikes. Curveball fought off again. Barely gets a piece of it and knocks it into foul territory. We'll do 1 and 2 again. Brandon Lewis, he's had a couple mini slumps, but for the most part has produced on an everyday basis. Power, contact, RBI situations. He does it all. 1-2 here. Here's the pitch. High and inside, 2 and 2.
It's funny because you say a mini slump. A mini slump for Brandon Lewis, or a slump for all intents and purposes, a 1-for-4 ball game. He's been on Psycho
really
Watch more often than not this season. Even up in Healdsburg, in the Oaks' losses in the Heat, he was the only productive batter.
Him and shaken, I would say. 2-2. Curveball stays inside, and the count is full. What an at-bat from Lewis.
And this actually could work out for him. 0-2 to 3-2. I don't think Reinertsen wants to walk in with the 3-for-3 McFarland waiting on deck. So Lewis may actually get a pitch that he likes here.
Full count pitch. Reinertsen checks the runner, kicks and offers. Hit hard, left field, and down and against the wall. Pickets will score. Brandon Lewis at second base with a double to tie this ball game up at 6 runs apiece. A 2-out knock coming up clutch, and the Oaks have come back again, Jonathan.
The difference in tension between before that hit and after that hit here in Sparky Anderson Field is quite incredible. That was a very loud cheer. Everybody was dead silent here, and then all of a sudden, that ball drops after a great attempt, by the way, by Sanderson and left. But, wow, what an intensity shifter for the Oaks.
McFarland 3-for-3. Takes a fastball up and in. Started to go, but held up.
And you know why Healdsburg's not going away in this game. Yes, they've locked in the number 3 or the number 2 seed. Yes, they know who they're playing, but they lost last night. They don't want to come into CCL play or playoff play with 2 losses.
1-0 pitch to McFarland inside, 2-0.
It's all about momentum. The Foresters can be beat. We've seen that. They lost to the Barons earlier this week. They lost to the Oaks last Saturday. The Riptide and the Packers have both lost to each other. The Oaks have beaten all the teams in the field. The Blues have also beaten all the teams in the field at least one game. So all these teams need momentum.
2-0, a shot to the right side, but out of play, 2-1.
And the team with the most momentum, by the way, Santa Barbara lost last night 5-4 to the SoCal Cubs in an upset. So the team with the most momentum coming into this playoff, and right now I think it's Orange County, will likely win the championship.
2-1 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Brodnansky, 3 balls a strike.
And so you don't see Healdsburg going away. Sure, they're not throwing their best pitchers because they have to worry about the playoff, but all these guys are still out there trying their hardest. They want to see the Oaks lose. They want to take away the Oaks' chances of a postseason run, and they're playing like it right now.
3-1 pitch. Ball 4 to McFarland. He reaches base for the 4th time today. Before that at-bat, he had 2 singles and a double, and now he adds a walk to his resume on the day as Chase Cockrell comes to the plate. 2 for 3, a base hit, a big fly, and a fly out to right field.
It looks like Reinertsen is pitching around these batters. So what if you do if you're Chase? You wait. Take the first pitch. Wait for your pitch like Brandon Lewis did.
First pitch, he takes it. 86, outer half, called a strike.
And Reinertsen knew it, too. That was a great way to start him out because now you're ahead in the count. But again, it's not about where you are in the count. It's about who has control of this at-bat.
0-1, kicking the pitch. Cockrell into center field. Will it get over the head? It will, and against the wall. Brandon Lewis, he scores. McFarland around third. He scores. Chase Cockrell comes through. A double, a 2-run double, and Caneo is on top, 8-6.
The damage is done with 2 outs. Caneo Oaks, what have you done so far here today? They get an out by Bryce Vitt, a strikeout by Michael Spears. In between that, a single bunt by Will Pickett. And then all of a sudden, they explode a 2 RBI double, or 1 RBI double, my mistake, by Brandon Lewis, a walk by McFarland, and Chase Cockrell plates 2 runs. What an incredible 2-out showing here for the Oaks in the 6th.
Alexander chops his first pitch in foul territory, 0-1. The line is moving. Pickett started off the hitting in the inning with a bunt down the left side. Lewis doubled, McFarland walked, and Cockrell drove in 2 runs on the double right there. 0-1 turns to 0-2. Fastball inside corner. Chase Cockrell, have yourself a day. A triple shy of the cycle now. 0-2 pitch. High and away, 1-2. Alexander's 0 for 3 today. 2 strikeouts, a 4-6-3 double play, but retrieved an RBI. A game-tying RBI on the double play in the 5th. 1-2 is low, and the count is even 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And now history's starting to repeat itself with Reinertson. He was up 0-2 to Brandon Lewis. He started pitching around him after Lewis fought off a tough pitch, and it was 3-2. Ended up with a good 3-2 pitch to Lucas. We'll see what happens here to Alexander.
Alexander gets under one. Pop out into shallow left field. Wozniak back, but he's called off, and it drops! Cockrell's going to score! Alexander's at second. A miscue from Wozniak, Sanderson, and Fagan. Alexander kept on running, and the ball, which was an easy flyout that should have ended the inning, drops in center field to put the Oaks on top 9-6.
I know that is a hit, but it should be an error by the fielders. I think that the entire Healdsburg left side should get an error for that. And that's no bias, whatever. That was just a miscommunication. Wozniak was out there. He was under it. And at the very last moment, I think Luke Fagan out of center field said, I got it. Wozniak moved, and that ball just dropped. It just plunked right into the grass. And if you're the Oaks, that's a huge break and a big run.
Now it's Shaken's turn. Fouls the first pitch. He sees back to the screen, 0-1. Alexander, to his credit, was running out of the box. He could have given up, not even gotten to first base, but he was running the whole way, and now he's in scoring position.
And you should have seen Cockrell from second to third. He was a light jog from third home. He was a dead sprint.
The same thing with Cockrell, as the next pitch is outside, 1-1. Shaken today, 2 for 3, a base hit and a double. Last time up, he had a nice line drive into right center field. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alexander, a big lead off second, and the pitch. Away, 2-1. What a turn of events here in this inning. 4 runs on 4 hits so far. And the Oaks suddenly on top 9-6 in this back and forth ball game. Mound meeting between Brodnansky and Reinertson now. Here's the recap. Pickett's bunt single, left side. Brandon Lewis drove him in on the double. McFarland walked. Chase Cockrell drove in Lewis and McFarland on the double to center field. And Alexander, on a bloop double to left center field, scored Cockrell from second. This team has fight. We know that. We've known that all season long. And they've done it here on the biggest stage. 2-1 pitch to Shaken. Fly ball, right center field. Medium deep, actually at the track. And Tofflin finally retrieves it to end the inning. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. A runner left aboard. Caneo comes back, and they're on top 9-6 as we head to the 7th inning on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. As we head to the top of the 7th, the Oaks on top 9-6. Here's play-by-play by the wonderful, experienced 3-year Caneo Oak broadcaster, Jonathan Rifkind.
Jordan Brenner, you always find a way to make me blush. You always do a great job. It's the first pitch to Quentin. Selma goes way over his head for ball 1. He's 1 for 3 today. And Jordan, I don't know what we do without you. You gave me so much praise when I was in production, and the interns were honored here, and you told everybody about what I've done. But you have really brought something special to this broadcast between humor and just overall knowledge. 1-0 pitch, hacked at and missed for strike 1.
Much appreciated, Jonathan. It's been a pleasure to go on this ride with you all summer. It really has been.
Which makes me just that much more excited to head up to Oregon to call some Oregon sports with you. 1-1 pitch, another slow 74 mile an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Selma. 9-6 Caneo over Healdsburg. It's been the loudest crowd we've heard all season long. They won't quit. The 1-2 from ring cover. Slider fouled back. Count remains the same.
And right now, for Nick Ringcover, this is a very, very significant appearance because if he can continue to eat up innings, maintain this lead, that's just going to save arms for the weekend when you're going to want to go with your best guys.
If the Oaks do indeed make it, the 1-2. Slider hacked at and missed for strike 3. 4 sliders and gets Quentin Selma absolutely guessing. That's the 3rd strikeout on the day for Nick Ringcover, and out number 1 here. In the top of the 7th, Dave Salisto is going to stride out to the mound, and they're going to trade 1 southpaw for another. The UC Irvine product, John Vergara, will take the spot of Nick Ringcover, who had a great day. We'll give you his line here in just a moment. We're going to take a break. 1 out, nobody on. Oaks up 9-6 here in the top of the 7th. Back here with 1 out in the top of the 7th. To my right, the incredible Jordan Brenner. To the left, our producer extraordinaire, Sean McKinnon. My name is Jonathan Rifkind, just average Jonathan Rifkind. Oaks up 9-6 with 1 out. And John Vergara heads to UC Irvine by way of Glendale City College. Takes the place of Nick Ringcover. Vergara in his 15th appearance is 2-1 with 2 saves, 3 ERA. 18 innings, he has 24 strikeouts and 8 walks. Lefty and righty matchup here to Dane Toftelin, who hacks and misses at a high fastball for strike 1. Toftelin is 1 for 3 today, a strikeout and a ground out, but in between that in the 4th inning, he had a single, came around to score. That was the second run of 4 runs, or actually 5 runs in that 4th inning. The 0-1 offering from Vergara, lifted down the right field line into foul territory. McFarland is there. He's called off out of second base, and Will Pickett's can't make the grab. That is strike number 2, though, to Dane Toftelin, the Indiana State Sycamore. So here's the deal.
The Oaks are up 9-6 right now in the late going. If they hold out and win, they will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the Santa Barbara Foresters. If the Healdsburg Prune Packers come back and win, then the Slow Blues will play the Foresters at 4 o'clock tomorrow here in Thousand Oaks, California. The early game, regardless, is set. It's Healdsburg versus Orange County in a rematch of last year's CCL playoffs when they battled it out on the baseball diamond in the championship game. All games will be live right here on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. The 0-2 swung and a miss. Strike three. 2 consecutive strikeouts. 1 here for Vergara. Ringcover had the other in the inning, and that's 2 outs. It will be on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network, that one, because there's going to be a lot to talk about. And then we'll stay tuned after the championship game. We'll have the MVP ceremony as well as some post-game interviews, regardless of who wins. It's going to be a fun weekend, regardless of who's in the playoffs. And Jordan and I are very excited to be able to call that on behalf of the California Collegiate League. 0-1 to Wesniak. Off-speeder. Paints the outside corner for strike 2, and Vergara looks very composed out there. There's a reason that he got signed by UC Irvine.
Yeah, such composure from the left side. He throws bullets, too, with fantastic off-speed.
0-2 pitch called. Strike 3 on the inside corner. The Oaks combined for an immaculate inning. 3 strikeouts. Top of the 7th is over, and it's time to stretch. Get up and stretch because it is a barn burner right now. 9-6 in a back-and-forth ball game. The Oaks lead. Bottom of the 7th after this on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Henrik Reinertsen is back on the mound here. Bottom of the 7th. I hope you enjoyed the stretch. We certainly did, but it's back to baseball. Andrew Lucas, a future C-Sun product, stepping in here. He's 0 for 3 today, one of the few Oaks starters, and I actually think he's the only Oaks starting 9 as he swings and misses for strike 1 to have yet to reach base, whether it be a hit or a walk. Every other Oaks batter in the lineup has found a way on base. And he'll look to change his fortunes here. Half-hearted swing. Foul tipped into the glove of Brodnansky. Strike number 2 now. 9 runs, 13 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Packers. The 0-2 offering. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Lucas. Started off his official collegiate play back on June 3rd with a grand slam. That's how the Oaks got on the board this season. The 1-2. Lifts one. Way back, out of play. Brodnansky takes a look at it, but doesn't do much further. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count remains. But Lucas, he actually played in 2 games in 1 day for 2 different teams. He played in the local Jim Parker All-Star game, which is the best seniors in the area, and then thereafter played against the Academy Barrington and Oaks game. 1-2 pitch, fastball, swung and a miss for strike 3. Reinertsen tallies his second of the ball game. That's out number 1 here in the 7th. Bryce Vitt, who's 1 for 3, digs in now.
The catcher, number 11, Bryce Vitt.
And Bryce Vitt deserves a lot of credit for what he's done today. The Oaks clinging to a 3-run lead, and Bryce Vitt has saved a number of runs today behind the plate.
Swings and misses at strike number 1. Reinertsen's been very good. His fastball has been ranging between 83 and 88. That's significant because when you take miles an hour off of it as he deals the 0-1 in the dirt, to even the count, when he takes MPH off of it, the velocity off of it, it's harder for batters to pick up. If you're pitching a fastball at 88 and the next one's at 84, you're going to get a guy out ahead. Curveball at the knees, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Vitt. He was a late addition to the Oaks roster. The Oaks were originally supposed to have a phenomenal catcher from Rice University who broke his hand. 1-2. Fastball fouled back. Count remains the same, but Bryce Vitt replaced him, and he's been part of a trio of incredible catchers this season. I mean, a core of catchers that this Oaks team would not be in the position that they're in because of. 1-2, jammed him. Easy grounder over to Wozniak at short. Takes his time and fires it over to first for out number 2. Give you a reiteration, of the Prune Packers field here. Dan Toftelin's in right, Luke Fagan's in center, and Ben Sanderson's in left. Kay Peters is at first. Kevin Sandry at second, Sam Wozniak at short, Quentin Selma at third, and behind the dish is Cole Bronunski. Will Pickett stepping in here with 2 outs. He's the number 9 hitter, though so far today 1 for 2. A flyout, a walk, and a single, a stolen base, and a run back in the 6th inning. He's been very productive. The first pitch popped up behind the home plate. Bronunski got a bad jump. Does he have room? No, he just runs out of room. And that ball just misses a fan. This is splash zone here in Thousand Oaks if you're sitting in the front row over on the third base side. We've had a couple of close calls here. The press box actually has about 3 feet of room, of sky between the netting and where we have a roof covering us.
If that's 3 feet, Jonathan, then I must be 50 feet tall.
Maybe it's a little bit more than that. Maybe it's 6 feet. The 0-1 to Pickett's. A strike on the outside corner. Good bounce back there from Reinertsen. And that's 88. We've seen 84 to 88 all inning long, and it's been very effective here. Look for that curveball, though. At 74 miles an hour, it is very, very effective. The 0-2. Skied to left center field. Fagan on the move out of center. He makes the catch for out number 3. Quiet 7th inning for the Oaks. They are retired. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 7 have come and gone, and it's still a good ball game. The Oaks lead 9-6. To the top of the 8th we go. Cole Bronunski, Kate Peters, and Kevin Sandry to 3-2 up for Coach Gomes' squad when we come back. Top of the 8th, 9-3 of the Oaks. John Vergara tasked with another inning of work. He'll face Cole Brodnansky. He's 0 for 2, a pair of groundouts to short, as well as a walk and a run scored back in the 6th inning for the Healdsburg catcher. The southpaw delivers the first pitch, low and away for ball 1. 9 runs, 13 hits, and a lone error for the Oaks. 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Packers. The Oaks have Brandon Ponticelli walking out to the bullpen, though I'm not sure if we'll see him here tonight. The 1-0 delivery misses up and away for ball 2. John Vergara. Between he and Nick Ringcover, the Oaks' improvement in the bullpen has been stellar
They both have been working very hard, and it's paid dividends this season. 2-0 pitch, fouled back off the screen. 2 balls and a strike now.
And the emergence of Vergara as really a shutdown setup guy has been huge because really the Oaks have 2 different closers. Sure, you have Angus Denton, but Vergara can lock it down as well.
2-1 upstairs, 3-1. And we've seen Jackson Simons guard 2 in close games. We saw him on Sunday against the Foresters hold a 1-0, or I guess kept the lead at 1-0 for the Oaks, but he was very effective in 2 innings of work against them.
So Lees has a bunch of choices down the stretch.
3-1 in from Vergara. Fastball, swung and a missed. Full count now here to Cole Brodnansky. Cade Peters waiting on deck in the hole is Kevin Sandry. Sun beginning the set. Shadows have been eliminated on the field as a gold hue illuminates the right field fence. Payoff pitch. Sky to shallow center field. Alexander jogs forward, gets under it, and makes the catch for out number 1. Tell you what, though, sunset here in the Thousand Oaks area is unparalleled. The fields, or the hills out in right center field turn golden. The sky begins to show shades of purple and orange. And it's actually a lovely contrast to the burnt orange, the deep orange, or I keep saying that, the burnt red, the deep maroon red that the Healdsburg Prune Packers wear, because there's a bunch of different colors now in the field, and it's very pretty. First pitch to Peters. Lifted down the left field line and out of play for strike 1.
The Pablo Picasso of broadcasting.
With 2 ears. Peters on the day, 1 for 3, a strikeout, and he reached on an error in between that, though, in the 4th inning. He had an RBI single to score the first run of 5 runs in that 4th inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And John Vergara out ahead once again here. Cade Peters from UC Riverside will be facing a lot of John Vergara in the upcoming years. Vergara heading to UC Irvine, not too far down the road. No balls, 2 strikes. The southpaw delivers. Curveball on the inside corner, called strike 3. And that's the 3rd punch out of the day for John Vergara, and out number 2 here in the 8th.
That's a Chuck Nasty right there. Slider inside corner, no chance to get to that one. What a nasty, nasty pitch. I can barely look. That's how gross that was.
Kevin Sandry stepping in now from the University of the Pacific. He actually plays with Oaks left fielder Tyler Ryan, who's not in this game. Takes a first pitch fastball on the inside corner at 89. Sandry's been good today. 2 for 3. Hit by a pitch, 2 singles. Runs scored. He also grounded out to second. The 0-1 offering. Curveball. Waved at and missed for strike 2.
Vergara's eating his Wheaties for sure. He looks really strong out there.
The 0-2. Jammed him over to short, backhanded by Shaken. They're saying it was out. The throw did not have to be made, but just in case. And that is out number 3 here in the 8th inning. If the Oaks can hold on, they're 3 outs away from punching their ticket to the CCL playoffs. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. The Oaks order turns. Spears, Lewis, and McFarland, the 1-2-3 due up here in the bottom half of the 8th. You're watching Oaks baseball, 9-6, the Oaks lead on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the 8th inning. Michael Spears stepping in. There's a new pitcher on the mound. He sports number 5, and he's actually brother of the former pitcher, Henrik Reinerton. It's Sam Reinerton from Davidson College. First pitch back up the middle. Off his glove over to second. Sandry over to first. And that's a 1-4-3 putout. Michael Spears is now 0 for 4 with a walk on the day. A couple of Reinerts here on the mound for the Packers. Henrik went 2 innings, gave 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. And now it's Sam's turn. Sam Reinerton on the season, 16 2/3. He has a 3.78 ERA, 20 punch-outs, and only 4 walks. One away here. Brandon Lewis, who's 2 for 4 today, takes a pitch outside for ball 1. Double in the first, came around to score. Double in the 6th, brought in a run and then scored thereafter. Slaps one foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandon Lewis spent 2 seasons at Pierce Junior College. He's from the area. He was actually committed to Cal State Northridge after his first season last year, but midway through the Oaks summer collegiate season, he decommitted, went back at Pierce, and is now going to Irvine. 1-1 pitch misses low, ball 2 to the slugger. Two 2-1. A fastball at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Southpaw delivers. Curveball that doesn't break. Stays up in the zone. Full count now to Brandon Lewis. This is the second consecutive at-bat for him that he's faced a full count. The payoff pitch. Very high, but not very deep to center field. Luke Fagan trots over to his left and makes the catch for out number 2. Now Jordan McFarland, who's 3 for 3 today with 3 runs scored and 2 RBIs. Have a day, Mr. McFarland, stepping in. And Jordan, you talked about a guy with College World Series experience. No moment is too big for him. He's really delivered as he fouls off the first pitch for strike 1.
And that's an advantage today, and that's going to be an advantage if the Oaks play tomorrow and maybe even on Sunday. Nothing's too big for this guy. He just performs on every stage.
Fouls back another one. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes now.
And what a game he's having, too. 3 hits and a walk. Has not been retired for an out. 2 runs, 2 RBIs as well.
The 0-2. Up the middle. Sandry on the third. Hop off balance over to first. What a play. He is so stellar out there at second base for out number 3. The Oaks go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. They are 3 outs away from ending this ball game and ending the Slow Blues season and keeping their postseason dreams alive. Sanderson, Arias, and Fagan due up on the other side of the break. The top of the 9th when we come back on the Oaks Baseball Broadcasting Network. New hitter here is Wendell Champion III coming in for Ben Sanderson. Sanderson ends his day 1 for 3 with an RBI double, a strikeout, a groundout, and a walk. The Oaks up 9-6. John Vergara looking to put the exclamation point on the game. Deals an 89-mile-an-hour hacked and a miss for strike 1. Wendell Carter III on the season. He's been pretty good. Or excuse me, Wendell Champion III. Wendell Carter's the basketball player. He's batting .278. Takes a curveball off the knees for strike 2. He was batting in the high 300s a month ago, and he's kind of cooled off since. His last ball game against the SoCal Cats, he went 0 for 6. Lefty toes the rubber. Peers and fires the 0-2. Buries it, hacked at and missed. Strike 3. John Vergara tallies his 4th of the ball game and gives the Oaks 2 more outs before they punch their ticket to the CCL playoffs.
Well, here's the sequence for Vergara there. He started off with good morning. The second pitch, he changed it up a little bit, good afternoon, and he finished the strikeout with good night in the dirt. What an at-bat for John Vergara.
We really went through a full day's work in that at-bat.
Yeah, we did.
One away here. Brian Arias stepping in. We're going to be seeing a lot of this guy and his name heard over the playoffs. He's going to be a key for the Packers. First pitch upstairs, ball 1, and Jordan and I are going to talk a lot about him in our pregame show tomorrow. I hope you join us. 11:45, 12 o'clock first pitch. The Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Orange County Riptide in Game 1. Link will be posted on the CCO website tonight. Arias on the day, though, 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. 1-0 bounces in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes here to the UT San Antonio Roadrunner. 9 runs, 13 hits for the Oaks. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Packers. They put up 5 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th. The Oaks put up 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 4 in the 6th. Vergara toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 2-0. A strike on the inside corner brings the count to 2-1. Or it says 1-2, but it is indeed 2-1. Vergara from the stretch delivers. Pitch in the dirt, ball 3. And Arias has been patient here. It's paid off, and he's in a hitter's count, 3 balls and a strike. The entire Healdsburg dugout towards the edge. Everybody on their feet. 3 balls and a strike. Here comes the delivery. Fastball, skied to right field. Spears to his left. And he's under it for out number 2. The Oaks are 1 out away from keeping their season alive and playing the Santa Barbara Foresters tomorrow afternoon. Luke Fagan, the final hope here for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. 2 outs, 9-6 the score. And John Vergara very composed. He is yet to give up a hit. He sent 7 straight back to the dugout since he came in back in the 7th. The first offering, a strike at the knees.
Vergara just continues to deal. This could be his most impressive outing of the season. And boy, have we seen some impressive ones.
Fagan's 0 for 1 with a pop out to third. The 0-1. Up the middle, over the glove. Shakin gets it. He fires it to first. It's lobbed, and it's not in time. What an incredible way to keep this game going. Shakin with a great play, but Luke Fagan just a little too fast. And this game continues on now. Runner on first, 2 outs. And Quinton Selma will be pinch hit for here.
Wow. By the whiskers on my face. That's how close that play was at first base. Wow. Such a close play. But Vergara's got to stay locked in here. Still got a job to do.
Blake McDonald now from Santa Rosa Junior College is the new hitter. In a big spot here for the Packers. This game doesn't mean much for them, all but momentum. But momentum could mean everything in their big game tomorrow to kick off the CCL playoffs against the Riptide. First pitch to McDonald. Way upstairs over the head of Vitt, and that wild pitch will allow Fagan to trot over to second. Runner in scoring position now. 2 outs, 1-0 the count. McDonald on the season. This is his 8th plate appearance. He's batting .500. In 4 at-bats, he has 2 hits. And actually, yeah, he has 2 hits, and both of them are doubles. Late addition to the team. He's also walked twice. The 1-0. A strike right down Main Street. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away, runner on second. Brandon Ponticelli and Angus Denton both out there. Denton just throwing some tosses just in case. Vergara steps off in a big at-bat. Vergara from the belt. Checks the runner at second and delivers the 1-1. A curveball painted inside. There was no chance at that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the Oaks are 1 strike away from being back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock in game number 2 of the semis in the CCL playoffs. The UC Irvine Anteater delivers the 1-2. It bounces in the dirt. Good block by Vitt. That evens the count at 2. Everybody at the edge of their seat here in Thousand Oaks, California. The Oaks very quiet in their bullpen. You could hear a pin drop right now, everybody waiting for the outcome. 2s across the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, runner on second. Vergara, once again, trying to put the exclamation point. Curveball, dribbler down the first base line, but foul. We'll do it again. What a fight right now. Blake McDonald not backing down from the stellar arm who sent down 8 straight before the single by Luke Fagan.
Barely staying alive, just barely got a piece of that last curveball.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Vergara once again toes the rubber, rocks and fires the 2-2. It's up the middle to Pickett's. Pickett's over to first. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're cleared your weekend schedules because the Oaks are in the CCL playoffs. They'll be playing tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the Santa Barbara Foresters. The final line, 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, and 8 left on base for the Packers. 9 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. The Oaks strand 6 on the day. The winning pitcher goes to Nick Ringcover. The losing pitcher goes to Henrik Reinertsen, and John Vergara gets the 2-inning save. Jordan Brenner, quick wrap-up because we got to get out of here and get everybody set for tomorrow. What happened here? This was an intense ball game, a crazy ball game. It's all smiles on the field right now for the Oaks. The Packers, though, they've lost 2 straight going into the CCL playoffs. What will that outlook look for them tomorrow against the Riptide?
Well, for the Packers, this wasn't a win-or-go-home situation, so they didn't throw their best arms. They'll be all set to go. As long as they get a good night's sleep, they should be just fine tomorrow. Here's what happened for the Oaks. The stars shined brightest today. Brandon Lewis, Jordan McFarland, Chase Cockrell, each of them had monstrous games. They kept the Oaks alive. They were so resilient throughout the game. A back-and-forth contest. And finally, Chase Cockrell, the home run, the double, both of them, he's enormous hits. He deserves a lot of credit. Obviously, Jordan McFarland reaching base 4 times. He was fantastic as well. It was an exciting ball game. But now back to work for tomorrow. None of this matters if they can't come through in the playoffs.
8 of the 9 Oaks batters reached base. Andrew Lucas being the lone 0-for-4 man tonight. Healdsburg had some pretty good lines. Kevin Sandry went 2-for-4 with a hit by pitch and 2 singles. Ben Sanderson had a big 2 RBI double in the 4th. A big 3 RBI double by Sam Wesniak put him 1-for-4 on the day. And in the bottom of the order, Cade Peters went 1-for-4. Reached on an error and had an RBI single. Jordan McFarland went 3-for-4. Reached base 4 times. Chase Cockrell went 3-for-4 as well, He was a triple shy of the cycle. And at the bottom of the order, Will Pickett's went 1-for-3, but he delivered a big run in the 6th inning. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow at 11:45 for the Packers and the Riptide. That link will be on the Oaks YouTube stream as well, or the YouTube page, I should say, as well as on the CCL website here tonight. Jordan Brenner and myself will be on the call. Second game tomorrow, the Oaks and the Foresters will be at 4 o'clock, 3:45 for pregame for that. We will also live stream the MVP award ceremony. That will likely go to Brandon Lewis. We'll interview him after that as well. But for everybody who made our broadcast possible all season long, I want to extend a big thank you to all of our viewers, to all of our fans for sticking with us. It's been a long road, and there's still more to come. We could not do it without you. For our incredible producer, Sean McKinnon, my wonderful broadcasting partner, Jordan Brenner, my name is Jonathan Rifkin. For the final time of the 2018 regular season, I'm saying good night from Sparky Anderson Field. I'll be on the field in 5 minutes with Jordan McFarland for our Oaks post-game interview live to Twitter. But until then, 11:45 tomorrow morning, we will see you there. The Riptide and the Healdsburg Prune Packers, duke it out. The Oaks play later tomorrow afternoon. But once again, the Oaks take it tonight, 9-6. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Friday evening.